The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Boulder, Colorado, where the majestic Rockies stand sentry to the University of Colorado, whose 1989 football team's inspiration came from the memory of quarterback Sal Anesi. Was it emotion alone that fueled Colorado's rise to the top a year ago? In their season opener, they struggled against the University of Tennessee and settled for a tie. Game 2 saw the return of tailback Eric Bieniemy. He turned a Stanford-dominated game around with 3 touchdowns in the second half. Now it's Champaign, Illinois, home of the Fighting Illini, and a town that's alive with celebration as they salute their 100th year of collegiate football. In 1989, their success focused on junior quarterback Jeff George, who led the Illini to a Citrus Bowl victory over Virginia. Dreams of roses this year were shattered when George became the #1 pick in the NFL. Now, question marks abound. And all eyes today will be on sophomore quarterback Jason Verduzco, coming off an opening game loss to Arizona. The Illinois defense will be the key. They are led by Outland and Lombardi Award candidate Mo Gardner, and they must find a way to stop this wide-open Colorado offense. A year ago, the Buffaloes buried Illinois 38-7. That loss remains a painful memory here in Champaign. So coming up, it's the rematch, Colorado against Illinois on ABC. Looking live at Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Illinois, where we begin the 2nd century of intercollegiate football with the Fighting Illini. Today's matchup brings together Illinois and Colorado. They have met only once, and that was a year ago when the Buffaloes stormed all over them 38-7. You know, when we think of the first 100 years, the honor roll here is legendary. Grange, Zupke, Elliott, and Butkus, just a few of the names that come to mind. And now we begin the second 100 years. Good afternoon and welcome everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. This is going to be a wild and woolly year in college football, believe me. Already Brigham Young has beaten Miami. Now we get late word that Washington State is derailing Brigham Young 29-7 in the first half. Who knows what's going to happen? But let me bring in my colleague now, the coach Dick Vermeil, because Dick, Colorado still harbors dreams of a national championship. But they've got a tie and a last-second win over Stanford. What about the Buffaloes?
Well, I think maybe the only problem that Colorado's having is carrying the burden of being a champion into this year. When you're a champion, the coaches do a better job of preparing against you. Their team gets more emotionally ready to play. But fortunately for Colorado, I think they do have the coaching and the ability to handle that added pressure.
Toughest coaching job on the field today. Well, that is John Mackovic. He's got to replace Jeff George. What about the Illini?
Well, I don't think you can replace Jeff George. You'll have someone play his position. Verduzco, the young quarterback, isn't a Jeff George, but I think what they'll do is they'll spread the responsibility for good performance offensively over to more than that quarterback position.
Jeff George, his Indianapolis Colts play tomorrow, has arrived here. Along with Jack Trudeau, they will be enjoying this match between Colorado and Illinois. Coming up on ABC in just a moment.
ABC's College Football, brought to you by Today Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. By Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when. And by Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers. They'll get you noticed.
A simply glorious Saturday afternoon here in Champaign. Emotion, the big part of this story. Now, the newest member of the ABC Sports team is Mark Jones. Mark, how did the Illini come out of last Saturday night's loss to Arizona?
Well, Brent, they were really shocked and they were embarrassed. Derek Brownlow, the linebacker for Illinois, said that, hey, Mark, I don't want to be embarrassed in front of my friends and my family members numbering 15 here at today's game. So they have to play with a lot of emotional focus. Now, if you look deep into the eyes of Derek Brownlow, you'll be able to tell the whole story. Just focus in on those eyes, and you'll be able to tell whether Illinois is doing well or doing poorly. On the other side of the ball, Colorado coach Bill McCartney said that he spoke with each of his 23 seniors this week, and that he sensed a bit of urgency on their part to get the job done and really turn their game up just a notch or two. Now, if that should happen, Colorado will be very volatile today, and it makes for a pretty combustible mix, Brent. Don't you think so? We'll have to keep an eye on it.
I would say exactly. What's your thoughts about that, Dick?
Well, I really believe that Colorado, has to be one of the 5-6 top teams in the country. And people are a little bit mad at Illinois for losing last week, but they're not giving the University of Arizona any credit. Remember, they won 9 and lost 3 last year.
Ball is on the tee for Forey Wells, the freshman. He'll kick it off here. It will be underway at Memorial Stadium, which was completed back in the 20s. First year of football for this facility was 1923. And as far as Colorado is concerned, some great speed goes back deep.
Colorado has been very successful in years past in all phases of the kicking game. Returns, punting, place kicking. They've done a good job, Brent.
Glimpse, Dick, of Eric Bieniemy and Mike Pritchard. So Bieniemy set along with Pritchard. Quinn will send the signal in for the end zone, and he does, and we are underway. This is Pritchard. It goes over his head and out of the end zone. It'll come back on the 20, and Darian Hagan, the junior quarterback, will come in to lead the Buffaloes, and he has got an array of talent that is some of the fastest in the nation. We have already mentioned Bieniemy. He'll start at tailback for the Buffaloes out of this option offense. George Hemingway is back there. Michael Simmons, Mike Pritchard, a wide receiver. Returning starters marked with an asterisk. Remember, there's number 62. Folks, he's one of the best offensive linemen in college football today. Hagan, now the pitch. Bieniemy brought down to the 24 by Marlon Primus. And that's the defense of Illinois. They must rely on this group led by noseman Mo Gardner. Wachter and Streeter also up front. The linebackers, Agee, Bryce, Hinkle, and Brownlow in that secondary. And a veteran group behind them of Hamner and Jones are at the corners. Primus and Parker are your two safeties. Mike Hawkins will check in as the nickel man. Dick, what do we expect to see now from this option attack of the Buffalo?
Well, they run the option well, but they've diversified their attack. They run the eye isolation play, giving the ball to the tailback deep, and they just go ahead and run that quarterback sweep type play.
Hagan, head and can't get away from Brownlow. Number 48 stormed him.
Derek Brownlow is fired up. He was embarrassed about how he played. Left-hand corner of your screen, fake inside, scrapes off. Must have been on a called stunt, and you can expect Illinois to be running some stunts inside. They don't want to sit in there and take them on physically on every snap.
Here's what Colorado doesn't want. They are now forced into a passing situation. Third and 8.
Better prepared to handle it this year. Spread formation.
Hagan under pressure gets it off incomplete. Good defensive pressure from Mo Gardner. The nose man led the way.
Focus your attention right where the quarterback is. You'll see Mo Gardner coming right up inside. Hard rush, 95, good rusher, not a great big tall guy. There he is, gets heat on him right now. They throw the ball over inside that zone, incomplete. No substitute for pressure on the quarterback.
Tom Lewin is historic. Slightly pulled groin muscle. Did not return to practice this week until Wednesday. Jones is the deep man. He's one of the best in the nation.
Lousy
but this
punt.
one is not one of his good ones. He could be bothered by that groin pull, and Jones is down at the 45-yard line. So it's 3 and out for Colorado. Illinois will be coming to bat.
Time defending Big Ten champion Michigan battles the Bruins of UCLA. It's game 1 of a college football doubleheader next Saturday on ABC Sports.
Could be the shocker. We'll keep you up to date. Here it's scoreless. Illinois with Jason Verduzco, their 5'9" quarterback, with 1st and 10 against Colorado. And they use a base play with Howard Griffith, 29. He's tripped up by Gary Howe. Let me quickly tell you about Verduzco and the players who are behind him. This is his 2nd start for the sophomore. He's 5'9". He's 192 pounds, but he's very strong. A former state high school wrestling champion out of California at 165 pounds. There are 3 tailbacks that we will see a lot of today. Wagner Lester is the starter. He's 36. Griffith, the fullback, now at 29. Second and long. Lester stepped back and battled his way across midfield before Greg Beekert, number 19, brought him down.
Gene Dahlquist, the offensive coordinator for Illinois, likes to spread them out when he runs the draws.
There's a look at the skill players. Sean Wax, number 88, will be a key man before this is over. On the line, Dick Vermeil. Who's the ringleader there?
I really think it's Simpson. He is a real man. Of course, Kurt Lovelace is an academic All-American at the offensive center position.
Two tight ends in right now. And Verduzco to roll to the right and throw for the first down. Elbert Turner, number 8, their fastest wide receiver, gives the Illini a first down on the 33 with a 16-yard gain. Now defensively for Colorado. And this is a veteran bunch. Joel Steed, 93, one of the better nosemen in the country.
He's a man.
No one on the outside any better than Williams and McGee, 94 and 96. In that secondary, McLuhan and Figures are the corners. James and Thomas are the safeties. Now it's 1st and 10. Lester and Griffith are still the running backs behind Verduzco. Off a play fake. Throwing to the long, incomplete. And that was John Wright, the intended receiver.
Greg Thomas did a real good job of reading the quarterback flow on play action, and from the free safety position, got over there and darn near picked it off. Here he is rolled up. Dave McLuhan rolling up there in double coverage. He's rolling over right now. Now here he comes in good timing, good position.
His father would love that credit. Oh, he was a good one with the Raiders.
I'm showing you my age when I call him Kent McLuhan.
Eric Hamilton now into that secondary, number 6. He's the nickel back. 2nd and 10. Colorado expects Verduzco to put it up again. And instead, they hand it off. And there's a big hole on the inside for Wagner.
Doing a good job on that play. I think Big Tim Simpson, number 69, did a good job. But to run inside, you have to block that nose tackle. Watch all right. Kurt Lovelace, number 54, blocks back. Simpson pulling around the corner. Good running move. Lowers that center of gravity, working upfield, moving the ball.
Wagner Lester for 9 yards. He's 6'2", 228 pounds. Now it's 3rd and short for the Illini. Griffith for the first down.
Brent, what they're doing is they're trying to run inside off the real good play of Joel Snead. Many times Joel Snead runs a slant move, either one side or the other of the center, and they will go ahead and run opposite his move. You see Snead right there. They're running in behind him. A good block by Kurt Lovelace. Good job. That's a tough block one-on-one.
Dick, we watched practice in the red zone. What does Illinois and John Mackovic have in mind now inside the 20?
They like to get in a slot, and they like to run post-corner combinations and delay underneath in case you go zone.
Griffith, and he made the most out of that, getting to the 15-yard line before Beekert again brings him down. How about that battle in the middle, Dick?
It's going to be a battle all day because you have 2 all-conference and potential all-American people playing head-on-head. Joel Snead, number 93, right on the Lovelace, 54, and boy, they're battling in it. It's going to be a battle the whole time. Most of the time in a one-on-one situation, the nose guard should win that battle.
Darren Boyer, number 26, checks into the Illini backfield. Another team having difficulty that is high-ranked. There is their slot that Dick told you about. It's Turner to the left. But instead they will run short of the first down, however. That was Boyer, his first carry. Greg Thomas came up on the play.
If you can, from this end zone shot, focus your attention on the fullback. Watch his lead block on number 19, Beekert. He's going to flow in there. Griffith comes right up. Boom! Gets a nice kick-out block. Hole big enough for Musburger to run through.
Oh, nobody that slow. Hey, it's 3rd and 2 right now, Coach. What about this call for the Illini?
You know what's impressive is the execution of the offensive football team. They're blocking them as if they're drawn on the blackboard.
Camino Bell is into the backfield. He's a slick blocker, and now they'll go for the shotgun on 3rd and 2. A basic pro look. Verduzco throws for Wax, incomplete, and now it is 4th and 2, and they'll probably have to settle for the field goal here in the early going.
Trying to hit the feed and the fade pattern, and Wax, you're throwing to a 6'5" wide receiver that can leap, but it was just a ball that was thrown too high. He's up there on McCloughan. He gets outside. McCloughan's in good position. If that ball's thrown properly, it's a touchdown. Now, you know something? On the practice field, both Thursday and Friday, he did not throw that ball well.
Doug Higgins into the game to attempt a 29-yard field goal.
He made 2 for 2 last week from this distance.
And now he's 3 for 3. The Illini strike first. They lead Colorado by a field goal. The Illinois bench, and Dick Vermeil, you know how important emotion is in this game as they lead by a field goal.
And when you're a champion, as we said in the open, as a champion, you motivate your opponent, and you have to rise to that level every week. Colorado's got one tough schedule.
For the second time. He takes Pritchard deep in the end zone. He'll kneel down there for the touchback. You can't keep up with what's happening around college football this afternoon.
Ho-ho, Berkeley.
7-3, the Bears over the Hurricanes, who were stunned last week in a great college football game by BYU. Now Brigham Young having difficulty with Washington State, trailing 29-7 at the half. Here it is 3-0 as the Illini march down to kick the 29-yarder by Higgins in 10 plays. This is the second series for Bill McCartney and the Buffaloes. Basic eye look, and they'll frequently shift out of it.
That's a new look right there.
Bieniemy. And Bieniemy with loads of running room on the Illini. Gets across midfield before he is out of bounds.
That's a brand new offensive formation that Colorado has not shown in the last 2 ball games, and they didn't make a quick adjustment defensively. You'll see a tight end coming in motion. That gives him power to the left bottom of your screen. He gets the kick out block right there. Does a real good job. There's no one else to block downfield. Gives him a real good running lane. And Bieniemy has that great speed. Good offensive design by Coach Jerry DeNardo, the offensive coordinator.
A 32-yard run. And Marlon Primus was shaken up. As you see Bieniemy, he returned from his 1-game suspension and scored 3 touchdowns against Stanford. Primus, number 16 of the Illini, was shaken up. Bieniemy is one of the great small backs. There was a sensational one here by the name of Buddy Young. Let's go downstairs to Mark.
You know, guys, when you think of some of the great small backs, you got Joe Washington, Joe Morris, Eric Bieniemy in this game, but there was a guy named Buddy Young that played here at the University of Illinois back in 1944 and 46. Real tiny guy, just 5'4" tall, but he scored 13 touchdowns in 1946, tying the Galloping Ghost record. Brent?
Thank you, Mark. Buddy Young, the late Buddy Young, was a great friend, fabulous player. Hagan to throw it, takes it back, and it is blocked by Mo Gardner, who is all over the field right now.
He is ready to play. He was embarrassed last week. They know this, the strength of the Illinois football team is their defense, the nose guard. It's a battle. Here he gets hands up just as the quarterback cocks his hands. He gets his hands up to throw. You coach that technique all the time. Those are techniques. Excuse me, Brent.
When he lines up, you'll notice how he angles in at the center. Alla
Pittsburgh Steelers. Me, Joe Green.
Bieniemy, and he is cut off. Now they stretch him out, and he makes all he can. You know, last week it was a trick play that really stunned the Illini. The old fumble-rooski used by Arizona. And we asked Mo Gardner, Mo, what happened on the play?
Well, the only reason you can ask me about it now because I watched the game. At the time I missed the whole play, I didn't realize he had the ball till he was in the end zone. And I was with half the crowd. You know, once he was in the end zone, that's when everybody realized that the fumble-rooski had happened.
Dick, do you think they'll call a fumble-rooski on that Colorado sideline?
I don't think so, but I've never seen a play executed so perfectly and fooled the defense so dramatically as that play.
Brilliant. 3rd and long now for Hagan and the Buffaloes. Straight back. Drops off a screen to Bieniemy. Bieniemy with an alley has the first down. He's brought down by Henry Jones, but it's a first down for Colorado.
They have so many weapons offensively. Everybody that catches the ball that can run after the catch, and that will be demonstrated. Center of your screen, pass protection, get the defensive lineman upfield, get him up there in the quarterback space. They're going to let him get up there. They want him up there. See, now they get A.G. upfield. They throw the screen. Good blocking up front. There's Gordon, number 62.
First and 10. Ball is at the Illini, 36. They lead it by a field goal. There's that eye bone look. Hagan on that option, keeping it and coming down the sideline. One of the slickest quarterbacks in the business. And he is out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
He's coming down the line of scrimmage. He knows he's not going to give it to the fullback. He comes down now. He'd like to pitch. No one forces him to pitch. He fakes it a little bit there. Now he turns up there and see that inside fake by the fullback. Freezes the inside out pursuit and many times slows you down from getting out on that perimeter.
Twisted ankle by Marlon Primus.
Boy, he will be missed.
Mike Hopkins is in the game. First and 10. Goes straight ahead with Hemingway, and that was Mel Agee, 96, bringing him down. Dick, we get word from downstairs. Mark Jones calls up that Primus will be back.
I think you'd have to take something much worse than a slight sprained ankle to keep him out of this one. His dad's here from California. His English teacher came in to see this football game and taught him in high school. A dedicated teacher.
Dick, how do you defend this Colorado team inside the 20?
Last year they were just outstanding, as you see. 50 out of 57 times they scored. This year they're almost as good at 6 times down there, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal.
Bieniemy cut off short of the 15-yard line. Hopkins helping force. Agee also there defensively for the Illini.
Mel Agee playing a new position. Instead of playing defensive tackle, he's playing out at the rush linebacker spot, which many times puts him down in a 3-point stance, but he does a good job of it.
Next Saturday on ABC's College Football, we've got a doubleheader. The UCLA Bruins will go to Ann Arbor to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Then #1 in the country, pending what happens tonight. Notre Dame takes on Michigan State, 12 Eastern time. Here now, it is 3rd and 5 for the Buffaloes.
Unbalanced line left.
Hagan keeps it. Penalty marker is down.
And he didn't make it.
Mo Gardner coming over defensively, but a penalty marker is thrown at the side of the play.
Tackle made by number 92, Sean Streeter.
Very costly mistake by the Buffaloes.
Now, see, you get a wishbone, eye-bone offense now in a 3rd and long situation, and you force them to get into a different front. Here's Mo Gardner being blocked by 2 people. Real good job there by Heasley, 79, and Leuenberg coming off in a combination block. You have to block that guy with 2 people.
We have the illegal procedure on the line of scrimmage.
So the ball is marched back to the 23-yard line.
They're explaining to Coach McCartney what the penalty was down there. It's not the position I coach, he says. The assistant walks by. It's not my fault, Coach.
That makes it 3rd and 10. That's their conversion rate.
And that's so they're a good conversion team, but normally they don't have this distance to converge on 3rd down. They're normally a 3rd and 3 conversion team.
Hagan, complete to Hemingway. Inside the 5. First and goal for the Buffaloes.
This is what Derek Brownlow, the fine inside linebacker for Illinois, told me. He said, I hate their play action. It drives me crazy. They freeze the linebackers. The tight end coming off the line of scrimmage to your right side of your screen. Now he's moving to the left, down the hole, in the middle there. He throws it right down the hole. Nobody there. Linebackers up, tackling the run. Good call by Coach DiNardo, offensive coordinator for Colorado.
Oh, for Colorado fans who were there in Boulder, they remember their team inside the 5 against Stanford the other night.
Well, you know, Hagan hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. He's in the air to do it.
They hand it off.
It's in there.
Touchdown. He got across the goal line. The line judge working down made the call.
They're going to run this off the slant of the nose guard. See the nose guard slant to the right of the screen. They ran in behind him. They're reading his block. Good job by Jay Leuenberg, number 15, of keeping that slant going to the right.
And Hemingway with the touchdown, and it's a 6-3 lead, and now it's time for the extra point by Jimmy Harper. Penalty flags down before the kick.
Sean Streeter, number 92, jumped over there on defense, and then the offensive man moved after that. Depends on how they rule that. They called it on the offense. Many times they'll call that on the defense because he jumped off over there on Streeter did, number 92, and the offensive tackle will flinch to protect himself.
So they'll bring the ball back to the 8-yard line, re-kick it.
Well, this guy was 69 out of 69 last year at LA Valley Junior College. He hasn't missed one.
Still hasn't.
Hasn't.
But another flag comes down. Another penalty marker has been thrown. All right, the extra point is good, huh?
Coach Makovic there looking it over. Very poised football coach. He's been in some very big football games as a pro football coach. Now he's in big football games as a college football coach. Pressure doesn't bother him.
So it's a 7-3 lead by Colorado, and we're coming right back. He has done a brilliant job of turning the fortunes around at Colorado. And here, his fullback, Hemingway, gives him his first lead of the afternoon against Illinois. They fell behind by a field goal, and now it is 7-3. A 15-year contract. Anybody ever offer you a 15-year contract?
I'll tell you, it's about time some of the universities in the country do that. If they want to solve some of the problems in recruiting and all that kind of stuff, they could do it by making that position a more secure position.
Boyer and Fagan were back there, and it is Boyer bringing it out to the 26, and a quick check of that scoreboard again. It's 29-7 into the second half. BYU losing to Washington State at home. SC strikes first on Joe Paterno, and Miami takes a lead on California. Here it is 7-3. With Virginia having an easy time of it against, of course, Coach Welsh's former team, the Naval Academy. 1st and 10 with Howard Griffith in the backfield, along with Lester. On 1st down, complete, and forced out of bounds was Stephen Mueller. Dave McCluen defending.
This McCluen is the fastest man on the team, I think, or equally fast to 2 other players in the squad. Bright guy, 2-time academic All-Big 8 graduate. He's now working on his MBA. His dad's got to be really proud of him.
1st and 10 for the Illini on that pass. 5' 9" Jason Verduzco brings his team to the line. Up the middle, and not much daylight there with Chad Brown, an inside linebacker, 6'3", 230 pounds, the sophomore, stepping into the hole. Howard Griffin is brought down.
This guy, Howard Griffin, is the man that the defensive coordinator said that's Mike Hankiewicz, really felt they had to stop this guy from running up inside.
Monday night, John Elway and the Denver Broncos will take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Mile High Stadium. John Makovic here with Illinois certainly remembers some of those wars, having coached the Chiefs before he came back to the college game. 2nd and 9. Verduzco to put it up, and it is complete to Griffith, but short of the first down. Biekert, number 19, defending the running back who had come out.
It's a little option route there trying to run on Biekert. Now, Biekert is an inexperienced linebacker. Actually, last year he played outside linebacker behind the great All-American candidate McGee, number 96. And Biekert is a physical guy. It's 6'3", 220 pounds.
3rd and 5 for the Illini. Will not get the first down, and Illinois will punt as Kanavis McGee, number 96, storms in to make a big play.
Joel Snead was actually the guy that plugged up the middle, the big nose tackle. He forced him to bounce outside, and there's the help from the rest of the defense. Take a look at it in a replay. You'll see what I'm talking about, big Joel Snead. We get it in here before this punt. Here he is, number 93. You see they're blocking. He works inside. Oh, we're running out of time. Thank you.
There is the punt by Jimmy Harness, left-footed freshman punter, and it is beautiful to McLuhan. And McLuhan is down at the 20-yard line. So Jimmy Harness's first punt in college football, as Forey Wells had his initial punt blocked at Arizona last Saturday night. A 47-yarder.
You know, Coach Jerry DiNardo, the offensive coordinator for Colorado, said his approach this week will do better what we've done in the past, but add some new wrinkles that the Illinois defense has not seen. And that should help smooth out and maybe get a little more consistent within their attack. It's worked so far.
Hagan handing it off again, and this time it was number 42, Michael Simmons, the ball carrier. First time that he has handled the ball today.
They move him around, wing back, wide receiver, actually running back. And he's a talented guy.
Gain of 2.
Second down and long for Colorado here in Champaign. They fell behind by a field goal, and now they lead it 7-3.
This is how you like to keep the bone attack in the second and real long.
The enemy down at the 26-yard line. Mel Agee bringing him down.
Great example on that play of putting Jay Lewinberg to center and Russ Heasley, the right guard, both blocking on Mo Gardner. They're going to put 2 guys on him every time they get a chance.
3rd and 4 for Hagan.
See, on 3rd and 4 against an eye-bone attack, you have to defense the run as well as you do the pass because they're liable to come with the option.
Well, we asked Coach Bill McCartney, as we have plays being stopped by the officials, we asked him, how successful is your passing game right now?
We're a dangerous team in those situations. I'll tell you why, because if you cover them all and you give this kid room to go, he can pull it down and run. And if you leave somebody open, he can find them and he can stick it in there. We're not as consistent as we'd like to be, but we're dangerous in those situations. We can make big plays.
And apparently, Dick, the offense a bit confused as they use a timeout here.
I'll tell you, in talking with Coach McCartney last night, I think both you and I walked out with our pulse rate up about 15 beats. There's a little intensity within everything he says that must relay and affect positively to his squad.
He would be a great inspirational leader at a time when you were struggling, and you have to go back to Stanford. And you have to think about what he might have told that ball club, because they were dominated by that gambling defensive procedure employed by Dennis Green and the Stanford Cardinal. They did a great job against them. You and I watched the game films of that.
And it was something they hadn't seen, but you have to give credit, too, to the Colorado offensive staff, and DiNardo, Barnett, Berry, Freeze, and Lucas. They adjusted. They actually ran some things in that ball game they hadn't practiced in 2 weeks. They pulled them out of their hat.
Go you, Northwestern.
Oh, hey, now I'm here.
Wake Forest, where John Makovic played in the same backfield with the late Brian Piccolo and was also a successful coach there. Here we come now, leading 7-3. Colorado with a 3rd and 4. Hagan on the roll, throws incomplete for Pritchard.
Now, Pritchard wasn't covered tightly, but they forced the quarterback, Hagan, to throw the ball over the top of a safety inverting inside out, number 20, Quentin Parker. He couldn't throw the ball low enough for the completion.
We get word that Ty Detmer has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Believe me, if there's time left on the clock, the Cougars are dangerous.
Yes, they don't want to make them mad.
Now, Ruin had difficulty, and remember the story, did not practice until late this week because of the problems with a groin muscle, and he's one of the better punters in college football.
Led the country last year in net.
Jones signaling for the fair catch. Illinois will have the ball on its own 40-yard line. That's a 35-yarder. He's usually stronger than that. Well, we've got some big shows coming up this fall on ABC. Let's take a look at some of them.
Funniest people.
Here it's 1st and 10. Verduzco straight down the middle and intercepted. Picked off by James, and he is out of bounds at the Illinois 45.
See, there's the inexperience. There's the inexperience of throwing the ball late down the middle. If you're going to go down the hole with a football, you cannot hesitate. You've got to get it in there right now. He hesitated. When you hesitate, the safety's sitting back there. They're watching the people coming into that zone, see him break into that hole right there. No one appears to be around him. They're sitting there watching the quarterback's eyes. Good job by James. 3rd interception for this year already.
Interception, he gives his offensive teammates a chance here with excellent field position at the Illini 45, 1st and 10.
It's the one thing you cannot do against this kind of attack is turn the ball over.
Hagan keeping it now. He pitches to Bieniemy, and he can give it so late. And Bieniemy had only 1 man to beat, and he would have gone the distance.
Nobody that I have seen in coaching pitches the ball from an option quarterback position better than this guy does. I mean, it's amazing. Remember the one he did against Tennessee? Here he comes down the line of scrimmage. He pauses, makes the fake inside. They freeze the defense. He comes down there. He flips it out there nicely right-handed. He can flip it left-handed as well as he can pass it left-handed.
2nd down and 5.
Here comes that change-up formation.
With Hemingway coming in motion, Bieniemy short of the 1st down, and Bill Hinkle, number 51, was there defensively for the Illini.
And Hinkle's been a good football player for him. It's his 1st year to really be the starter. Academic All Big Ten. Here he is, right here, 6'1", 212 pounds, a marketing major, likes to play football, taking advantage of his opportunity to be a starter.
And they are 3rd and 3 this time. Option football. Hagan. And it is short.
Great defense.
Coming up with the play is Mike Hopkins. Number 19, the junior, making a great play from out of that secondary on Hagan.
Mike Hopkins is a real story. You'll see him flash into this play to the right side of your screen. They go ahead, they fake inside, they get the good blocks they need. All of a sudden, here he comes, number 19, and he is the brightest football player on this team. He is a 4.77 on a 5-point scale in astronautical engineering. Same major I had.
We come to the end of the 1st quarter here in Champaign. Colorado 7, Illinois 3. We'll be back with the Buffaloes 4th down. With the wind at their back, Colorado now will attempt a field goal of 55 yards. Jim Harper, and they said he was lethal in practice last week.
He hit 3 in a row from 57 yards. That's long enough.
A 54-yarder by Harper.
Well, they can't blame that on the altitude in Colorado.
This was prairie level. And the Buffaloes lead it 10-3. We'll be right back.
The Irish of Notre Dame have rocketed their way to #1, but the Michigan State Spartans are looking to make the Irish stew. It's ABC's college football next Saturday.
Well, an interception set up that Harper field goal just moments ago, and they lead it as a result 10-3. Now, given the wind and the strength of his leg, Dick, you would think he could take it down in the end zone. Let's see what happens.
Chances are, with that kind of leg, as you just said, he'll kick this and they won't get a return. They have a very good kickoff coverage unit. They do a good job with their special teams. They can all run. And they have one guy named Paul Rose, number 46, in the kickoff coverage. He was their #1 tackler. 25 points in special teams last year. They really think he's a dandy.
It was falling off the tee when he caught it. That's why it is short. And it is fielded by Lynch. Lynch looking for daylight. Has an alley. Breaks free. And he is out to the 39-yard line. A bit of bad luck by Harper. The ball was blowing right off the tee as he came up to kick it.
That low kick took a bounce in a position to be fielded easily. You'll see Rose coming into the left side of the screen, the young man we were talking about, and two guys blocked him, gave him that running. You see 46 right there. He was there, but two people executed good blocks on him, and they go ahead and break the return.
36 yards on the return. His last series, 5'9" Jason Verduzco tossed an interception. On the inside handoff, a conservative first down play. Coming back after that turnover, Steed and Renfro were there defensively.
The guy that really did a nice job on that was Gary Howe, the defensive right tackle, 95. It was a trap play, and he closed the trap. You know, he's an unheralded player. We're watching him on film. Both you and I said, hey, this guy, we don't read much about him, but he really plays.
Second and long. I think this could be another one of those passing situations for the young man.
Well, they like to spread you out and run the draws in these situations, too.
They run the toss with Griffith, the lone setback, and he is strung out with Beekert, number 19. There defensively. Let's take a look at the numbers now from the opening quarter. Colorado gave up a field goal and then stormed back to score the next 10 points.
Total offense, 100 yards. But see, the one disadvantage for Illinois is that turnover. You can't turn over the ball to a team that probably is better than you are. You have to play a perfect game to upset them.
You know, Dick, we'd like to take a moment now to welcome the newest member of our ABC family, WHAS-TV, Channel 11 in Louisville. Through the years, I've had the opportunity to work with those great folks down there. That's a tremendous station, and we welcome everybody to ABC from Louisville. On 3rd and 10, Verduzco steps away from the pressure, but he is far short of the first down. That was Steed, 93.
You notice that was a no-back attack, no running back in the backfield, and Verduzco is fast, but he's not really quick.
Also 93, Joel Steed.
Jimmy Harness to punt it again, the freshman. And back deep, McLuhan.
Jimmy Harness, the punt formation.
They got one blocked last week. They got this one off.
McLuhan steps up. He's got breakaway speed. Cuts back inside, and he is down inside the 35-yard line. A spectacular run by McLuhan.
A fine run, but a poor punt. The ball was not in the air long enough to allow the coverage to get under it. Now, McLuhan, you better hang the ball up there. Last couple weeks ago against Tennessee, he ran a 55-yarder back for a touchdown.
Well, a young man who knows about the problem of breaking in at quarterback was Jeff George when he's a youngster. He's standing now with Mark Jones, so let's go downstairs.
Yeah, Brent, I got two guys that know a little bit about playing quarterback, Jeff George and Jack Trudeau, two guys that played at the University of Illinois. Jeff, what's it like now having a guy that used to go to the same school as you on your pro team?
Well, he's been super. You know, he's been helping me out whenever I need help.
Oh, trouble!
Had me on been great.
Simmons catches the touchdown pass. Thrown by Hagan on first down. 32 yards. So just when we expect a couple of option running plays for Jeff George and Jack Trudeau to chat a little bit, up comes Hagan with the ambush
Well,
play.
I'll tell you what, Hagan heard us talking to 2 pro quarterbacks and said, I'll show you 2 guys who can throw the football. It's a throwback, it's a scramble back there, broken play. Fortunately, Simmons just kept running down the backside as the coverage flapped inside with the outside receivers running in. Touchdown.
And the extra point is good. And suddenly, Colorado has seized control. Let's go back downstairs now to Mark Jones with the 2 quarterbacks. Mark?
Guys, I guess Darian Hagan wanted to show you how a real quarterback throws the ball. Is that right, Jack?
I guess. If it's all that would be easy that way all the time, we'd be all right, huh?
Jeff, tell me, you're making a contribution of $10,000 to this university. Not bad for a guy that had to pay his own way, not on scholarship, of course.
Well, that's right. You know, this is the times here that I'll cherish forever, and what little I can do and repay back to school, you know, I want to do. So I'm setting up a scholarship fund, and hopefully it'll be used in good fun. And you know, like I said, it's something I'm happy that I can do.
Jack, you had to come in and back him up in the first game of the season. What was that like? And do you expect to play a lot this year?
Well, in the past, since I've been in the NFL, I've played at least half the time. So you know, I'm not totally happy with it, but, you know, thankfully it's Jeff and somebody I can get along with, and we do get along well, so that makes it a little bit easier.
Guys, thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck in your game tomorrow. Brent, I guess all we need in Indianapolis now is Chief Elenowek to complete the whole Illinois scene.
Hey, don't worry. The Ursays will invite him over there for a little opportunity to perform at halftime.
As long as he buys his own ticket.
So nice to hear about a young man who contributes back to the school, like Jeff George, making a contribution to the school. You always like to hear about the professionals who do that. Harper now will put the ball down on that tee. It is suddenly 17-3. And let's go back to the start of this game. Let's remember that Illinois scored first, went up by a field goal. But it has been that manpower of Colorado that has seized control of this game. Now they will use someone to hold it this time. The last time out, it blew off the tee. Lynch right at the goal line. 10 to the 20. Down at the 28-yard line. And we asked John Mackovic what his biggest concern was coming into this game.
For us, I think that we may be so uptight or wanting to play so well after last week that we may miss some of the things that we should do and give them an opportunity to get an early lead. If that happens, we're going to have to settle down and fight our way back into the game. That's what we were not able to do last year. They scored on us quickly, and the score remained 21-7 for a long time, and we just could not claw our way back into the game. I think if we're behind, that'll be the #1 priority.
Well, they will have to claw their way back in right now, trailing at 17-3 with the young quarterback in his second game. Down at midfield. What a hit by Greg Thomas.
And did he get up? I'll tell you, look, he's showing off. He's sticking that ball up. You can't hurt me. That was one heck of a hit, like you said, by Greg Thomas. But Albert Turner got up, drop back pass, nice poise by the quarterback. Give Verduzco some time. Give him some time. Sets up, slides him that big throwing thing. Now watch this hit. Oh, my gosh.
You know, Dick, the young man, did not look rattled when he delivered that ball either. And the pressure is really on him. Let's see this normal speed. Here you can tell the impact. Oh, Thomas just got him.
But he got up like he wasn't even tapped.
Now, without a running back.
They're rolling out toward that. See, it gives him a lot of time to get rid of it.
Throws back incomplete.
He saw the people coming. They're going to call it.
Flag. Was he hit late? Was there a late hit there on Verduzco?
Yeah, they're calling that, I think, on McGee.
So there's two great bookends, 96 and 94.
As you said, this Verduzco is a tough guy. State 165-pound wrestling champion in California. Here's McGee. This guy is a Lombardi Trophy nominee and finalist, one of 12. He comes around the backside. Oh, man, he really gave it to him. Helmet in the helmet. That can give you a headache for a week.
And the penalty will give Illinois a first down. McCartney disagreeing with that call. The ball has been marched off inside the 35. Your feeling about it, Dick?
They called helmet into the helmet. They called a head hit, a contact with a helmet in the face. I think that's what they called. I don't think it was any, malicious intent, just playing football.
On first down, Griffith into the arms of Chad Brown, number 34.
You know, in talking to the Colorado defensive coordinator, Mike Hankwitz, he said, we want to stop these guys on first down and put the pressure on Verduzco to beat us by putting them in second and third and long. I think so far they've done a pretty good job of that.
Well, with Dick Vermeil, Mark Jones, I'm Brent Musburger. Champaign, Illinois, the University of Illinois with the ball, trailing it by 2 touchdowns. But they have a second and long inside the Buffaloes 35. Verduzco stepping away from the pressure. He has a first down.
Good
to
job.
The 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Illini on a 16-yard run.
What happened on that, the coverage was in man-to-man. All receivers were out. Of course, no one playing man-to-man on the quarterback. Everybody else playing man-to-man. They therefore have their back turned on the quarterback. They don't see him. You see no defenders there. They're all involved in playing pass. Gets a block from a wide receiver. First down inside the 20.
Verduzco complete and out of bounds. Whacks the receiver, working on Dion Figures.
Wax again, a great big 6'5" target. What Verduzco does this time is he doesn't try to throw the line drive pass. He lobs it over the top. And the short quarterback many times has a problem doing this. He had to get it over the top of some defenders. Did a nice job.
One of the questions about a small receiver or a small quarterback is whether or not the receiver can see the ball. It's on you in a hurry.
Verduzco says, I can see the receivers. The receivers say they can't see me.
Now they shift again. Lester battling his way toward the 5 and a first down, but there is a penalty marker down on the play. Defensively, it was 95, Gary Howe. Let's sort out the penalty right here with Tom Quinn and his Big Ten crew.
Stopping themselves. You cannot make mistakes and beat a superior team. Of course, by the end of the game, they have to prove they're superior. But coming into the ball game, people were led to believe that Colorado, one of the better teams in the country, and I'm one of the believers.
And if so, it's this man who has rebuilt that program.
He has done a great job of recruiting California. And what did he say? Who told him to recruit California?
Chuck Fairbanks, the former coach, said if you want to do one thing here at Colorado, make sure you go into the Los Angeles area and recruit heavily.
Put 4 coaches there. He says there are too many football players with the limited number of scholarships at USC, UCLA, and Cal and Stanford. There's enough left over. And plus, you'll recruit the kid that wants to get into the country environment and go skiing.
Verduzco on the quick count, and Renfro, not surprised, comes storming across the line for a negative yardage stop here. And the Illini drive suddenly bogs down in the shadow of the end zone.
When you talk to Verduzco, he says, you know, I'm not as worried about Colorado defense as I am just making sure I make my contribution and run and execute the discipline of the offense. I really like the versatility within this scheme, he said.
This is 3rd and 12. So he takes off, and he is down at the 16-yard line. Did you hear those pads as McGee?
Yes, you can hear the pads, but there's inexperience. Right there, he had a delay pattern coming underneath in the zone. The corner pattern was covered. He could have dropped it off to his delay man. In this case, it was Sean Wax, and let him run up inside with the football rather than scrambling. Boy, that McGee, is he a man?
6'5".
I think I'm going to be his agent.
It's a lot of fellas you'd like to be an agent for.
There's about 6 or 7 real fine prospects in that one.
Higgins with a 33-yard attempt. And it is no good. The score stays at 17-3 as John Mackovitz field goal opportunity fails. And Colorado leads it by 2 touchdowns. Into the fourth quarter, BYU running out of time, attempting to come back against Washington State, trailing at 29-14. Here Colorado with the lead, and Darian Hagan, their Heisman Trophy candidate, is caught by Derek Brownlow and brought to the ground. Hagan in their last series throwing a touchdown pass of 32 yards to Simmons. Talking about the Heisman Trophy, the Sporting News, which is published out of St. Louis this week, rated the top 5 candidates. Ty Detmer, after the great upset, was clearly #1. If you're wondering about Blaze Bryant, he's the talented running back from Iowa State. Darian Hagan, who was the highest finisher among the returning college football players, no higher than 10th in their list. This is a big opportunity for him here today. And he's ahead 17-3 as Hemingway steps in motion. And on the option, it's Hagan trying to turn it up as penalty flags come flying, and Gardner makes the stop.
Well, Hagan can beat you so many ways. Last year, he throws for over 1,000 yards. He runs for over 1,000 yards. He's the 6th guy in the history of the NCAA to do that, Brent. The only thing that bothers him is heights. He's not afraid of linebackers, but he won't go up high buildings.
McCartney won't be pleased with that, but he sort of nods his head in agreement, doesn't he? Maybe they were holding on that play. Boy, we're talking about Heisman Trophy. How about all the guys for the Lombardi Award that are in this game? We've talked about McGee. We've talked about Gardner. We've mentioned Garton. There's Alfred Williams.
And Mo Gardner was 3rd, I think, in the voting last year as a junior. You know, Mo Gardner is sort of a tweener. He's in between being an NFL-sized defensive lineman and a linebacker, but he is a great football player.
You got in your face, you wouldn't call him a tweener.
No. I'd call him sir.
Mr. Gardner, whatever you want. He's a proud papa.
Yes, sir.
Little baby girl, about 10 weeks old, Morgan Gardner. There she is. She's cute. Says only bothers him a few times.
I wonder if she knows her dad's playing nose guard today. Huh?
You bet. She's watching TV right now. She's saying, come on, Daddy, let's get a safety. And if he happens to get Darian Hagan, he also is a father, a child back home in California. He spent part of the summer back there. 2nd and 20. Hagan stepping around the corner, bluffing the pitch, and he is brought down by Gardner.
That quickness. Did you see him make a little move as if he's going to pitch the football? And that keeps the defense pursuing, and then up inside. You have to get somebody in his face right now. Now watch, he makes a fake. He's coming out. He gets a block. He gets outside. Agee right there. Now see, he gives that little hesitation move. They over-pursue him. You cannot over-pursue this guy. You're better off to get him late, inside out.
What's he going to do here on 3rd and very long, Dick?
I'd look for the quarterback draw or something. I'll tell you this, they're not afraid to throw in this situation anymore. New philosophy.
Well, they won't throw this time. It's the enemy, and he's got fresh legs, and he bolts out for the 1st down.
They went with the draw. He is so explosive. He sat out the league opener against Tennessee for an altercation with a fire department official. Here he is now. You'll watch right in the middle of the screen. Jay Lewinberg does a good job. Moving, gets him locked up inside. Now he gets a big hole. Now he's just great speed. Really good quickness. Heads to the sideline, move the chains, 1st down.
20 yards for the senior halfback. He's carried 8 times for 69 yards here already. Here he is again. Stopped that time by the heart of that Illini defense, number 98, Poleski. Mike Poleski. You know, we were talking about speed, the fastest Buffaloes, and they have got it. That's such a key element in college football. Now, here are their offensive players. The enemy to leave, Matt Bell could be one who replaces him. Defensively, it's Figures and McLuhan who are the best. And look at Hagen's speed there.
Yeah, 4.4, but see, all these people can fly. And you know, in the old days when they didn't have digital watches, they weren't as fast. It just said 4.4, 4.5, but now they get down to that 4.39 and 4.3221.
They only needed a sundial when I ran anyway.
Yeah, that's all they used with me, too.
Second and long. East backfield. The enemy into the heart of the defense.
Great job by
Brownlow.
Great job. Good inside, and he is really playing. As Mark Jones said on the field, we ought to take a look at this guy's eyes. He likes to get after it. 328 tackles in his career, 7 tackles for a loss, number 6 in the history of Illinois.
Coming up at halftime, we're going to have the Prudential halftime report. Roger Twibel will have all the day's scores and highlights, and he'll be telling you what's going on with Brigham Young and Washington State. Could be the biggest story of the weekend. And also, Beth Buriak will report on the problems being faced by juniors who entered the NFL draft but went undrafted. That's coming up at halftime. The enemy with time incomplete. Quentin Parker knocks it away.
Quentin Parker, fine defensive back, started out as a running back. Actually led it as a running back here in 1986. Real good defensive move. You'll see right at the end. He moves in perfect position and bats the ball away. Here comes the ball, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. There he is, and batting it away. Nice job. Quentin Parker, he's done that 6-7 times in his career, batting that ball away. He's intercepted a couple of them.
Here's Ruin. He played at Colorado State, but couldn't earn a scholarship before he transferred down the road from Fort Collins to Boulder, and now he seems to be getting looser and looser. Danger. He got a call for a fair catch right there.
Should have at that time.
Whoa, he got buried, and he's lucky that he didn't fumble. That's 34-yarder, and there is a penalty marker down. Did they not give him enough room to make the catch?
If they called that, it's a bad call. They gave him... Well, maybe they got a face mask call or something.
And that's a good
But they did give him room. They didn't interfere with his right to catch the football. The ball is caught. Boom. There's nothing illegal about that. There it is. Left hand face mask. And that is probably going to be a 15-yard face mask, not incidental contact.
Scott DeGoyla.
No, they called it 5 yards.
Jones on the receiving end of that. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We've got 5:55 left in the first half. Where questions remain about the troubled basketball program. The NCAA coming back to Illinois recently and asking for more information. Here in Champaign, they expect word to come down sometime in October. And we'll see what the sanctions are at that time. Here their football team trailing 17-3. Colorado with the lead. Illinois with the ball. And young Jason Verduzco back at the helm. Only 5'9", drops right straight back, drops it off over to Fagan for the first down. A 15-yard gain on the play as he hits his running back. Now BYU back to within 7. Somebody make a call and tell me how much time is left in Provo.
Very well executed inside screen. Very well executed. Take a quick look now. You'll see Fagan on the left, 44, sliding up inside. He turns around. Linemen come downfield on a screen. In college football, they get down there. Big hole up inside. Well done.
Sideline and out of bounds. That time he hit Stephen Mueller, number 23.
You know, Coach Makovic made a comment about Verduzco that was so true. He says, oh, how I'd love him to be in mid-season form, but unfortunately, we have to play 5 or 6 games to get there.
11 minutes to go in Provo. There's time for them to score 3 more touchdowns.
He is truly a legitimate Heisman guy. That's why they have him #1. And if he's good, if he is that good, he'll get it done. Look at the defense shifting around here. They don't like what they see. They're moving. Hey, get over there. I want to line up here.
Here's a second and short. Akovic, former pro coach. See if he likes this to go long and then come back for the first down. Now he'll give it to Griffith and take his first down when he can.
I'll tell you that Joel Steed is one fine nose tackle. Right now they have Jeff Bruner in there playing in his place. So you know they have two fine nose tackles. There's number 39. Somebody's down.
Gain of 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, that is Tim Simpson. He's really their most physical and talented offensive lineman, strongest offensive lineman.
Well, Dick, next week we're going to be in Ann Arbor for UCLA against Michigan, the start of our doubleheader. Then it's Notre Dame against Michigan State. I've got a chance, and I know that a lot of the Wolverines and the Irish are watching right now. What's your feeling about first Michigan without Bo Schembechler?
Well, you know, no one's going to replace Bo Schembechler. Someone will take his job as Coach Moeller has done, and I think he'll do a tremendous job. And talking to Bo in the offseason in Detroit one time on the phone, he told me he didn't think Michigan was quite as talented this year with the seniors leaving on last year's class, but they'll be a good football team.
I'll tell you where they are talented. That offensive line is as good as any they've had.
Oh, those guys are so big enough to eat hay.
Now, do I get the feeling that you like the Irish at home in that game as a result?
I would have to go with Notre Dame at home. Yes, I would. I mean, they've done a great job there, and Lou Holtz over the years has done a great job of adapting offensively to the skills of his quarterback. This year, I think you'll see a little more open drop-back passing game. They've got that, and certainly he'll do a great job of coaching.
All right, so Dick Vermeil likes the Irish in that showdown, and we'll be up there at Ann Arbor next week to watch Michigan against UCLA. And UCLA, certainly a disappointment a week ago, weren't they? Did not play well against Oklahoma.
UCLA is not as physical, talented as they used to be.
First and 10 here for Illinois, down 17-3 to Colorado. 5:10 to go in the first half. Jason Verduzco off the play action, and steady hits a back. And that was Camino Bell.
Starting to gain poise. Did you see with Verduzco then? Pattern taken away. He starts rolling on out. He starts directing with his left hand where he wants the receiver to go. Play action pass. See, they double up on the nose tackle there, walling off backside. He gets outside. Now watch him. He's directing. Now watch him direct with his left hand. See? Hey, move over there. Good job. Good poise.
Second and long. That one interception resulted in a
broken play.
And good defense by Eric Hamilton, number 6.
Offensive left tackle. In this case, Hopkins made a mistake.
Let's go downstairs now to Mark Jones. Mark?
Well, guys, it seems as if Tim Simpson has suffered a contusion or some kind of bruise on the elbow area. At the time that we are speaking right now, they are evaluating, the doctors are, and trainers, the extent of his injury. He should be back. As for Eric Hamilton, man, I'm telling you, this is a wild story from Ripley's Believe It or Not. The guy was watching a high school basketball game, came outside, was the victim of a drive-by shooting. He still has the bullet lodged in his rib right now and is playing football. This happening just over the summer. Wild or what?
That really is some story, complete on the deflection. The ball was deflected, and Lester caught it off the hands of Chad Brown.
When it's going your way, it's going your way. Hey, I wonder how Eric Hamilton will pass through an airport radar system. It'll always be beeping, won't it? That little slug in there. Taking an end zone look at this. Number 10, shotgun formation. Gives you a little more time. They're stunning up inside. They do a good job. He finds that throwing lane. Chad Brown comes over. Take those gloves off, Chad. You might have intercepted that one.
Dick Verduzco has threatened, but he's been unable to stick it into the end zone. Here it's 1st and 10 at the Colorado 31. Running the draw play that time with number 44, Fagan.
I'm very, very impressed with the intensity of the defensive line for Colorado. You know, they've been criticized for maybe taking their success last year for credit and not playing real hard this year. People who write that don't know if the football stuffed their pump. These kids are playing hard.
Is it stuffed or pumped, by the way?
It's pumped. I learned that about my 5th year in coaching. I used to have to pump them up myself. That's how I know. Plus line the field, mow the grass.
2nd down and 7 for the Illini. Verduzco straight back. Didn't release it, and Hamilton coming up in that secondary again.
See, the mistake he's making when he sees it's not there, he's got to get rid of it. See, he gets sacked, that just lengthens the attempt for a field goal. If he's up in here closer, they have a better shot at a field goal. Here he is, the change-up defense. They're coming after him. Red Dog up inside, well picked up by the running back. He has time to unload it. He had time, but he didn't do it. Gary Howe, number 95, comes around the point and puts him down. You have to unload it when it's not there.
Forcing an 8-yard loss. He was loaded that time, wasn't he, for Verduzco?
You don't want to take a sack down when you're getting close to that field goal range.
Out of the shotgun this time.
Oh, no.
Bobbles it, catches it, moving to the right, and it is deflected from the side. And Alfred Williams, who is 6'6", coming after him.
Defensive,
and he was there too.
Defensive player of the league last year in the Big 8. He has that size and stature. You'll see him go up, start to throw the ball. Here comes that long reach. That long reach at 6'6", 230 pounds, Big 8 defensive player of the year, all-time quarterback sacker in the history of Colorado. You know, I'd look pretty smart coaching that guy as a linebacker coach. I think I'd want that job. Outside backers are coached by Bob Simmons, and he must be very proud of these guys.
Which one would you draft first?
I think I'd draft Williams first. He's a little more mobile. Maybe not quite as physical, but he's a little more mobile.
McCartney over there with his staff on the far sideline. One of the key decisions they made was to go to the running game in the mid-'80s there.
You bet. See, they felt they would go to the wishbone because they could eliminate some of the physicalness they needed within the offensive line because of the finesse blocking schemes within a wishbone attack. They started having success. Then the success bred better athletes coming there. Get interest in coming to a winning program. Now they're running the same attack with real good football players. It's this Vanderpool, big offensive right tackle for him, 300 pounds. I mean, he's a possible first-round choice.
Hey, the Sooners may be for real. 45 points on Pittsburgh already. Ohio State, after struggling against Texas Tech, beats Boston College. Illinois opens up its conference schedule in Columbus on the 6th of October against Ohio State. That figures to be a very key game in the Big Ten. Here it is 17-3. This is 4th and 15 for the Illini.
He'd only gain a few yards by 15, 16 yards by punting it. I think he's going to sprint out. Yes, he does. See, they pinned him out there.
Complete first down.
Look at Verduzco. He is excited. I tell you, if you give a young guy a breath of fresh air and he starts gaining confidence, you see he has that real good, strong delivery. Here's Wax, the 6'5" guy, moving down inside. Believe it or not, he was a fine tennis player. Tennis players are tough, too. Look at it. Rifled that ball right in that zone. Well done by the young Verduzco quarterback.
17-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for the Illini. Griffith, daylight, 15, 10, 5, down to the 3-yard line with Figures tackling him.
What that was a tackle trap to the left of your screen. You're going to see big Tony Laster, 72, leading up in there. He gets the kick-out block. He doesn't need the block. Griffith makes that move. What an underrated football player this guy is. Taking a look again. Right tackle, moving to right there. C-72, Laster. He's leading through the hole. He doesn't need that block. He just goes ahead and gets it almost in the end zone. Gets tough down here.
First and goal. Lester was stopped by Gary Howe, and again number 95 in there defensively.
I watched them practice, as you did, the goal line attack both days, Thursday and Friday. Mackovic doesn't wait a long time to come with play action passing down there. He won't, you know, he's not one guy who's going to try to beat you up physically down there.
Bell and Griffith are the running backs on 2nd and goal. There was movement. Illinois pulled Colorado off, or did they simply jump?
It depends on how they interpret that. They could call Cam Pepper, number 73, right guard for movement, and that's what they're doing. If you remember earlier in the game, they were down there and had an illegal procedure on them.
Seconds left here in the first half. Illinois with several scoring opportunities. They put together 17-yard plays, none bigger than 4th and long on that pass by Verduzco. But now, Dick, they're pushed back for their 8.
The only advantage is they gain 5 more yards of zone to throw the football in. That's the only advantage.
Yeah, this is Colorado 8, obviously, going in.
They're coming after
Verduzco. Quick throw, touchdown, Illinois.
And he took a lick.
Elbert Turner.
Here's Verduzco, quarterback number 10, man in motion, Fagan, 44, right side of the screen, trying to get the coverage. Here comes the heat right up inside. He throws that slant pant. Take a look at Verduzco. He is going to be excited. Coach Mackovic says, you've got her done. But he doesn't get excited, does he? At least raise your hands up, Coach.
Extra point is perfect. Illinois back to within 7. And Dick, that is huge here in the closing minute of the first half.
They're doing it. Colorado's doing what they don't want to do. They're pumping up the young, inexperienced quarterback and allowing him to gain confidence. And if he continues to gain confidence with the strong arm that he has, and a coach like Coach Mackovic and a quarterback coach like Gene Dahlquist, they're going to be trouble in the second half.
There he is, the fastest wide receiver on this Illini team. 6 foot, 165 pounds.
Look at Verduzco. His mom is here today, too.
I'll tell you, there's a former Illinois quarterback who is also delighted about what's transpiring here at Memorial Stadium, and that is Jeff George. Part of this huge crowd on hand on a glorious day in Champaign.
29-29.
They have struggled back. Hy Detmer. Evened it up against Washington State. Roger Tribal will have someone on the phone with the press box. He'll give you all the latest scoop on that one. You know, that's BYU's average this year. 29 points, and they're right on it.
He's going to be a famous Italian in Antioch, California. That guy.
Father, Mexican, mother's Italian.
That's a great mixture. I'd love to eat at their house. I love those spices.
All night.
All night. You don't do too bad with a pork yourself.
Here is Pritchard. And time is going to run out here. There's a penalty flag down. Time is stopped with 23 seconds to go. Penalty marker did come down on the far side on that return. Dick, are you surprised about anything that we've seen here in the first half?
Well, actually, I'm surprised at how quickly Jason Verduzco has improved in this ball game itself. He's really growing. His confidence level is going up. And Coach Mack over there, McCartney, he's telling, hey, guys, just keep our poise. Let's not make a mistake right now.
How big was that pass from Hagan to Simmons for a Colorado touchdown?
Oh, yeah. You know, they're sure we got a half to play, but that what it does for him mentally, I think, and also the squad has to every once in a while stop and think, gosh, if we only had Jeff George. Well, the more success he has, they can quit thinking about Jeff George.
I think the key play of that drive was 4th and 15.
Yes.
And he throws 17 yards to Wax. Now the Final 23 seconds. Colorado backed up against its own end zone. On the road, they lead it by 7. You would figure that McCartney would take a 7-point lead here and go on into the locker room. He's going to do just that. Unless Bieniemy has different ideas. He steps out to the 19-yard line.
Bieniemy's the kind of guy that you can give the ball to as a coach on play design to make a 4-yard gain, and he can go 80 yards with it. And you call that coaching.
Illinois doesn't want to stop it. They don't have enough time to come back and run another series. They want to get the ball out of their hands if they can. And that's what will happen. 17-10, a good one here at Champaign. We know you'll be back for the second half, and meanwhile, Roger Twybo will get you up to date with everything. Let's send you there now. Roger.
Thank you very much, Brent. It's been a wild day of college football on this Saturday. We'll bring you up to date on what's happening in that BYU-Washington State game out in Provo. Also scores and highlights from around the nation. We'll have a report on Brad Gaines of Vanderbilt and his story at the Prudential Play of the Week on the Prudential Halftime Report.
ABC's College Football, brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo. Available right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers. And by Sharp Electronics Corporation. From sharp minds come sharp products. We'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC station. ABC Sports and the Prudential, celebrating 20 years of college football together, presents the Prudential Halftime Report. Brought to you by the Prudential. Come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock. Now here's your host, Roger Twybo.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our ABC studios in New York. Last year in Provo, Utah, Washington State handed BYU their only home loss of the year. At halftime, Washington State led BYU 29-7, but look out, here comes Ty Detmer. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes today. Early in the fourth quarter, Detmer 32 yards on this touchdown pass to Andy Boyce. This would be the second BYU touchdown in 90 seconds. They're tied up at 29 in the fourth quarter. In Jackson, Mississippi, Auburn and Ole Miss. And the final now, Auburn now with their 8th straight victory over Ole Miss. Final there 24-10. First ever regular season meeting between Penn State and Southern Cal. So far, Tony Sack has outdueled Todd Marinovich. At halftime, the Trojans lead at 13-7. Miami and California, this game in Berkeley, and yeah, California is putting up a battle. Craig Erickson's been awful good, but look at what California did in the second quarter. Brian Triggs, the 13-yard touchdown pass from Mike Pulaski. Cal went up 21-17, but Miami has gone back on top. Well, Virginia has started out tremendously this year. So far, the Cavaliers have averaged over 460 yards and 40 points a game. They added to that today. They beat Navy 56-14 to final. Sean Moore, 4 touchdowns passing and a couple more rushing. Oklahoma and Pittsburgh, this figured to be a tough one down in Norman, but it's not been so far. Oklahoma leads it 45-10, that game in the third quarter. Well, in Baltimore at Memorial Stadium, Maryland has been tough against Clemson. They beat them there in '84. They tied them in '86. They nearly got them today, but Clemson's Doug Thomas with his second 98-yard touchdown return this season, and Clemson ekes out an 18-17 victory. Ohio State and Boston College. Last year, Ohio State rolled out to a 31-7 lead and held on for the victory. Wasn't the same this year as we go up to Chestnut Hill. Ohio State leading 17-3 late in the third quarter. BC 4th and goal. Mike Sanders stopped by Vinnie Clark, makes the hit and recovers, and that stopped Boston College on the day. Southern Miss was looking to do it again. Remember last week, they knocked off Alabama. A 42-yard field goal by Jim Taylor with 54 seconds left. Just missed. Remember, he kicked the field goal to beat Bama last week. Georgia holds on for the 18-17 victory. Speaking of Alabama, they are off to a terrible start under Gene Stallings. They are now 0-2, folks. And take a look at this play against the Gators of Florida. 4th and 15, Alabama on the 25-yard line. And Stan Moss will have the punt blocked by Jimmy Spencer. It's recovered by Richard Fain. 17-13, Florida has beaten Alabama. And Iowa State and Minnesota right now in the fourth quarter. Blaze Bryant has gone out with an injury. By the way, he is on the way to the hospital. But Iowa State leads Minnesota 16-13. Want to remind you, a big game coming up on Monday Night Football. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to the Mile High City to take on the Denver Broncos. Marty Schottenheimer, as a coach, has never beaten Denver. He is 0-9 there. That's coming up on Monday Night Football. Now, coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, Beth Ruyak reports on Brad Gaines, his situation at Vanderbilt. But first, more scores on the ABC Sports Board. Welcome back to our ABC studios in New York and the Prudential Halftime Report. Sports in the courts, it's as common as 1st and 10 anymore. But for a couple of college football underclassmen, 1990 was a bad time to make themselves eligible for the NFL draft. Beth Ruyak joins us right now and has more on that story. Beth?
Roger, this week brought the second lawsuit attacking the same problem, although each set of attorneys argued it under a different section of the antitrust laws. The two athletes involved, first Braxton Banks and now Brad Gaines, will not carry the ball on the college football field again, but they may instead be carrying the banner for a major change in college eligibility rules.
In 1989, Barry Sanders led the charge of underclassmen into the NFL draft, a third-year junior who threatened to sue if the NFL didn't let him play. This year, the NFL liberalized the draft policy, allowing any underclassmen to enter.
If you're not assured of being a first round or a high draft choice or whatever, make it $1 million. I don't think it's really on your side.
Early this year, though, Brad Gaines thought it was on his side. The Vanderbilt fullback was the leading receiver in the Southeastern Conference. He and 37 others across the country entered the NFL draft, and in doing so, signed an affidavit with this statement in bold letters. I hereby irrevocably renounce any and all remaining college football eligibility. Ultimately, 18 players were drafted, including #1 pick Jeff George. Brad Gaines was among 20 others who were not drafted.
Did you play out this possibility in your mind that you might not be playing football?
No, I didn't, actually.
Braxton Banks, a Notre Dame fullback in the same situation, filed the first lawsuit to regain his college eligibility. Last month, he lost his case, but in Tennessee, Brad Gaines' attorneys thought they would try a different argument, that NCAA eligibility rules are inconsistent and wrong, that the NCAA breaks antitrust laws by trying to monopolize revenues from football and basketball.
I would hope that they would take the Brad Gaines situation and the Braxton Banks situation and realize that the effect of this rule on football and basketball is wrong.
In fact, this rule has caused tremendous debate and disagreement even within the NCAA. Executive Director Dick Schultz has said athletes should have the opportunity to determine their professional sports value without losing eligibility.
His view is just one of many out there. I'm sure it's respected by a number of the members, but obviously it hasn't caused people to decide to go out and change the rule.
Harvard coach Joe Restic on the NCAA Professional Sports Liaison Committee also takes the athlete's position.
Once they do make that decision, they shouldn't be deprived of the right to come back and play again in college. They should have 4 years of eligibility over a 5-year period, and that's what our organization, our committee is concerned about.
The judge is writing his ruling. Meanwhile, Brad Gaines' preliminary injunction to play was denied. Next weekend is Vanderbilt's first home game of the season.
Will you be there watching?
I don't think I will. Yeah, I don't think that I want to go there right now.
Brad Gaines is finishing his final semester of school. Vanderbilt is extending his athletic scholarship until graduation. As far as changing this rule, the NCAA says no new legislation on the issue has been submitted for the 1991 convention. In fact, Roger, the NCAA says its rules aren't the problem, that the problem really comes from the pro leagues who impose these differences.
Well, as far as the NFL is concerned, they'd like things to stay the way they are, because if you start drafting underclassmen, they've got leverage. Todd Marinovich, for example, maybe would like to stay in school and not go pro. Maybe he's not happy with the team that drafted him, so it really gives that player a lot of leverage.
The evidence is the players are still going to have to sign that affidavit again next year. Now we want to follow up on a story that we brought you last week. If you were with us, you saw our report on Florida State's conference decision-making process. President Bernard Sliger said he intended to make a decision by this weekend, and he did. I spoke to him on the phone, and he said the deciding factor in joining the ACC was, of course, budgetary. With the ACC, FSU's anticipated athletic budget would be in the top half of the schools in the conference. With the SEC, it would have been in the lower half. So, Roger, all the committees, all the coaches included, said go this way, and they did. They went ACC.
Beth, thank you. Appreciate it. Now, it's time to go back in time for the Prudential Play of the Week. ABC Sports and the Prudential celebrating 20 years of college football together. It's top-ranked Penn State against Miami in the Orange Bowl. Second quarter, the Canes lead at 6-0. Here's Keith Jackson.
The other way, and he's gone. He is loose. It is a foot race to the flag. It is touchdown. 80 yards for Butsky.
That touchdown pass by Jim Kelly would give Miami a 14-0 lead. They would go on to upset Penn State. The final score, 17-14. And remember the date, October 31st, 1981, the first big win of the 80s for the University of Miami.
And Gifford, coming up this Monday night, we'll be in Denver, Colorado for the Denver Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have emerged as a definite playoff contender with running back Christian Okoye and a wild, stormy defense. But the Denver Broncos, led by John Elway, are looking to repeat as AFC champion. This Monday night from Denver, Colorado. Be with us.
Well, BYU is doing it. Ty Detmer has thrown his 5th touchdown pass. Right now, BYU leads at 36-29 after Washington State led 29-7. But Washington State inside the BYU 10. Right now, let's go back to the Colorado-Illinois game, and we'll see you later on.
All right, Roger, thank you. And so Brigham Young comes storming back. Way to keep the fans up to date with that one. And here, what is better than a Big Ten band on a glorious afternoon in Champaign, Illinois? Let's enjoy now the University of Illinois Marching Band. Just a touch of the pageantry here in Champaign. As for the ball game, 17-10, Colorado leading Illinois. You're making a big point. John Makovic is throwing the ball on first down as a pro team might.
Yeah, well, he's throwing the ball actually more than running, and he's completing a good percentage of it, and therefore they're moving the ball, and I think it keeps Colorado out of sync, out of game plan. They can't all of a sudden decide to just come blowing in there on first down to stop the run.
And you also said that already Jason Verduzco is more productive than Jeff George was a year ago.
Well, they have more points on the board than they did last year against the same football team.
Let's take a look now, and we'll get an opportunity in the second half to check in on some of the key numbers that unfolded here in the first half. It's a 7-point difference right now. The key play for Colorado was Darian Hagan's scoring pass on first down. We're going to come back to Champaign in just a moment.
First of America Bank, Franklin Travel.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by The Prudential. Come to the companies of The Prudential and build your future on the rock. ABC's College Football. Brought to you by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda at your local dealership today. And by AT&T, the right choice.
Welcome back to Champaign, everybody, with Dick Vermeil and Mark Jones. I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us on ABC. Halftime stats, Coach, look like this.
And Illinois has done a real good job, as we said, at halftime on first down and doing a good job there. And I think you're going to see Colorado commit a little more intense rushes on the first down situation to counter the first down passing.
Well, the Buffaloes have just come out of their locker room here, You can see what Hagan did. The key there was his touchdown pass to Simmons of 32 yards. And for Illinois, that's how they look offensively. Turner with that touchdown catch. He has caught both of Verduzco's scoring passes this year, one in the loss against Arizona. 7-point difference right now, 17-10. And the key was that first down pass from Hagan to Simmons. Let's take a look at it.
Here it is. They had a deliberate play called. He's looking right. He breaks. He rolls onto the right. Now he's getting good blocks up there by Vanderpool, and he throws back across the field. The coverage had left Simmons all alone, looking in the direction that the quarterback was looking. He gives him a 6-point pass.
Then in the last minute of the first half, it was Verduzco rallying the Illini with this scoring pass to Turner.
They did a good job, and he stepped right in that little hole where he had to be in that throwing lane and hits the slant pattern into the slot man, Elbert Turner.
And Verduzco delighted.
Bring on the pasta.
He'll get the ball back right now to start the second half, as Colorado will kick it off here. And Hagan warming up on the far side. Ball on the tee for Jimmy Harper, with Lynch and Fagan back deep.
Coming into this game, Colorado has been a big second-half offensive team, scoring 31 of their 41 points coming into this game in the second half.
Ball blowing off the tee again. In that first half, they put a holder down there.
You know, the thing is that McCartney has won 29 straight games when he's leading at halftime. Now, I'm not trying to jinx Illinois, but that's a pretty good record.
Well, it's interesting that one of his coaches obviously told the young man, look, if the ball is blowing off the tee, instead of going ahead with the kick as you did in the first half, just pull up or run past it, and they'll blow the whistle and they'll replace the ball on the tee. So part of the learning process here for the Buffaloes in Champaign. They have a tie and a last-second victory over Stanford.
Oh, good
to
kick.
their credit. Lynch from the 2. Fine return out to the 32-yard line. The ball comes free, and it was marked down at the 32. It'll be Illinois ball right there. That was Ronnie Bradford who popped him. Now, you mentioned the record at halftime when they are ahead.
29-2-1 in the last 32 games, and as I said, in the last 29, they're 29-0 when they lead at halftime. We're not trying to jinx Illinois, but that's a fact.
Now it's McCartney's defense on the field. Griffith, the running back, behind Verduzco. He's been the workhorse. He takes the pitch, cuts back against the defensive pursuit, gets 3 or 4 yards before Craig Beaker brings him down.
Coach McCartney, excuse me, not Coach Makovic, really likes to use quick count offensive plays. They got up there, they were up in a 2-point stand, and he staffed it right now. It forces the defense to line up and show what they're going to be in.
Lester into that backfield with Griffith. They line up in the eye, and frequently Makovic will shift out of it, as he does there. Running the draw play. There's a penalty marker down.
I think they called holding inside.
Griffith exploding for the first down out to the 45-yard line, but the penalty marker was thrown. And it'll go against Illinois. You know, Makovic, along with being coach, is also the athletic director, and I said, Coach, how do you handle wearing 2 hats this time of year?
Well, when I'm the football coach, see, I wear my hat this way. When I'm the AD, then I have to put it on this way.
You know, Dick, I always knew that those ADs were a little backwards. You know?
I would tend to agree with you.
I tell you, though, he's making light of a very tough job, as we later talked about it. You know, it's not easy, but he has some administrative assistants who pick up the load during the football season. He calls all the plays from the sideline for the Illini. Very much in control of that offense. Second and long. With time over the middle, and it's complete by Verduzco, but this will also lead them in 3rd and long as Frank Hartley, the tight end, caught his first pass of the day. 6'3", 270 pounds for 9 yards.
Frank Hartley is known for his blocking skills, considered last year to maybe be the best blocking tight end, but he does get to, you know, he gets excited about getting the ball thrown to him once in a while. He's only caught 14 in his career, that being his 15th.
And they've got to make 7 yards this time to accomplish it. Drops it off to Griffith. Great defense by Beeker.
See, you can't run that kind of pattern when the defense goes man-to-man. If they drop zone, if they're playing zone coverage, Beeker would have dropped out of there, and you would have been able to drop that off. He was eyeballing a man-to-man, no room, no cushion.
So the young man has to learn to audible out of that then, right?
If he has those mechanics, or go down and work the man-to-man phase of that pattern.
Now it will be Wells who will come in. He is the second punter used by Mackovic here this afternoon.
Lousy punt. This is the second game in a row that we've had an opportunity to broadcast a game where they've had punting problems.
Wound up with a good roll on it. 31 yards, and we'll be right back.
Defending Big Ten champion Michigan battles the Bruins of UCLA. It's game 1 of a college football doubleheader next Saturday on ABC Sports.
Junior quarterback Darian Hagan brings his Heisman Trophy campaign to the Midwest, hoping to impress some voters here from Chicago and Detroit, Milwaukee areas. Leading Illinois by 7 with his touchdown pass. 1st and 10. Running the option down the line, pitching to Bieniemy. And Bieniemy got all of 6 before Brownlow bashed him.
Derek Brownlow's doing an exceptionally good job of coming inside out.
Short-handed in the secondary at Illinois. Let's check downstairs with Mark.
Brendan, has been a great day for Marlon Primus of Illinois, because on just one of the early series in the game, he injured severely his left ankle. He is through for the day and very much distraught. This in light of the fact that his father and his high school teacher came all the way from Los Angeles to watch this game. Tough luck.
Yeah, it really is. Thank you, Mark. And Mike Hopkins, the junior, is into that spot. And the heart of the Illinois defense did not yield that time. You know that Mo Gardner was down there someplace as the nose man.
I'll tell you, John Walker has been doing a good job in there, number 99, as well as Mo Gardner and Sean Streeter, number 92.
Talking to the Heisman Trophy, we hear that Blaze Bryant, the fine running back at Iowa State, has suffered a collarbone injury and is being taken to the hospital. And we certainly hope that that's not serious. Here it is, 3rd down with Brigham Young storming back now to lead it 43-36. Wild and Willie and Provo as usual.
Oh, nice slide.
And hit hard by Henry Jones.
And Mike Hopkins came up from the free safety spot. This is an eye isolation play, meaning they're going to lead the fullback through, block, try to double off one man. See, they're doubling the nose, single up. Here comes the linebacker. He stuffs it to the outside. Here comes Hopkins, number 19. He isn't that big, but at 5'9", 184, he puts the pads to you.
Jones, who was in on that play, will go back deep for Ruin's punt.
Oh, that's going to bring down rain. Get away from it.
And it takes a Colorado bounce down inside the 5-yard line. It's down to the 3. Great work by the special team. 51 yards down inside the 5. Tim James, number 17, did the job to down the ball. We're coming right back. One who wasn't, Jeff George, who's now with Indianapolis, grew up in that state, went to Purdue initially, transferred over to Illinois, and now the quarterback of the Colts. So the young man from California, under the heat, inside the 5, Fagan busts the tackle but gets no further than the 5-yard line. And Chad Brown, number 34.
You know, if I were coaching right now as a head coach on Colorado's side of the line of scrimmage, I think I'd stimulate my defensive coordinator and say, hey, put some heat on these guys. Let's keep them down here. Don't give them a first down. See if you can't sack them. Take away the first down passing attempts.
Dick, didn't the defensive coordinator indicate that McGee and Williams were going to try to keep Verduzco boxed in and make him throw from that pocket, not let him get too far to the outside?
They're going to get the pressure up inside, and when he thinks he can come outside, then here comes McGee, 96, and Williams, 94.
Second and long. Griffith back. Great pass. First down. Hit Wax on the slant. Pointed right at the man. It was one-on-one over there, and then hit him for 9 yards.
This is a quick 3-step drop. 1, 2, 3. He's looking all the way. Plants his back foot. Throws a slant inside a double zone. He rolled up in there. Beekert had him on the outside and short. Safety had him deep.
Dick, there can't be a bigger play in this game than that. They would have been forced to punt it out.
Makovic has a lot of courage and a lot of confidence in this guy. Oh, BYU 50s.
I told you there was a lot of time. Yeah. We'll see those Cougars out against Oregon in a few weeks. Musgrave and Detmer, they'll throw for 1,000 yards that day, folks. Fagan.
Well, they set a record a few years ago, didn't they? Those two teams playing against each other.
Yeah, they did.
900 and something yards throwing the ball. Rich Brooks at Oregon.
Greg Beekert, 19. Chad Brown, 34.
Here it's the Fighting Illini trying to battle back against Beekert and Colorado. Next week, we'll start you off at noon Eastern. Come along to Ann Arbor. Gary Moller's Wolverines, who face the Fighting Irish tonight. And then in the second game of our doubleheader, you'll see Notre Dame against Michigan State. So I would guess that if Michigan does upset the Irish tonight, they might jump to #1, but that's a little premature. The Irish are very determined to hold on to that. Verduzco gets it off and throws it out of bounds going down. Got it off with Howe draped all over him, and it took a strong arm to do this.
He got it off with Howe, number 95, but he doesn't know how, I'll tell you that, because he is there. Good pressure. This guy is one of the most underrated defensive linemen I've seen in the college films this year. He plays intense. He's always coming. It was a good stunt up inside. They didn't pick up the stunt. He's forcing a bad throw. Nice job, Mr. Howe. They say he doesn't look physically, when you look at him, much like a football player. A little bit of a pus gut and that kind of stuff, but he sure plays well.
Third down and 10. From the shotgun, closing from the side. He never saw Alfred Williams coming.
That was trouble all the way. Hard outside rush coming to the right side of your screen. He sets up his shotgun. He should have time, but there he comes. When he come around that fast, you had to beat the tackle, Tony Lassner, number 72, pretty early to get that cleanest shot.
Now, big punt situation here. Forey Wells standing deep in the end zone. McLuhan inside the Illinois 40.
Pretty good punt.
Driven back to the 47-yard line. And he is down at the 40-yard line. So we'll come back with 7:42 to go. 41-yard punt and a 7-yard return. Eric Bieniemy has done it. He's now jumped another notch. 88 yards, and now put him ahead of Mayberry, and he takes aim at Charlie Davis. Got a good chance to catch him. Dick, we've got the record book out to check that on Ty Detmer and Bill Musgrave. That game, they threw for 960 yards. Most yards gained by two opposing players in a game back in '89. Here is Bieniemy again. Brownlow down. There's a penalty marker on the play. 64,351 on hand, and they're watching a good one down here in Champaign on just a beautiful afternoon for college football. And a mistake by the Illini will be costly with that face mask penalty. The ball is put down at the 31-yard line. So that's a 5-yard face mask penalty. And that'll leave Colorado here with the ball at the 31. The chain gang can't decide whether or not to move the chains, and they have not yet. First down sign is showing, but the chains haven't been marked. The referee didn't give him the signal over there. Hagan running the option to the short side, keeps the ball, and steps to the 24-yard line. Now the chain gang on that far side gets it together.
That Hagan is so quick as he starts down the line of scrimmage. All week long, your scout team can present a picture to your defense as if they're Colorado and give them a good picture of the plays. But it isn't till game day they see the acceleration and the quickness of it really run correctly.
This now is first down. Hemingway to the 20, and a penalty marker comes down again.
They're going to play drop the hanky out there now. Come on, guys, let him play.
Making the stop, number 19, Mike Hopkins.
I'll tell you, the best offensive lineman that we have watched this year is the left guard
number
right
62, Garton. He's really a powerhouse. He's working on Mo Gardner, working inside out on that play. But Garton has that ability to make contact and keep his feet moving, has very good leverage, bends those knees. He is starting his 35th career start.
That was an interesting replay, folks. He was holding on it.
Hey, even the All-Americans hold once in a while.
Right. Well, I know that better than average block.
I know that Mike Berra, the offensive guard and center coach, didn't coach him to do that, but it does happen, especially now with the extension of the hands. John Bowman's looking in there, getting the secret.
Now it's 1st and 20. Ball is back at the Illinois 33-yard line. Here's Bieniemy looking for daylight, and he gets out to the 27-yard line. John Wachter, 6'3", 258 pounds, brings him down.
Here's a take a look at the left side of your screen. You'll number 62. See him come out up there. Good, back straight, knees moving real well, doing a real good job knocking the man off the ball. Did a good job of getting John Wachter back off. It's a little cushion in there for the running back. Look at that neck.
Cutting off his block.
42-inch neck he's got.
Hagan cuts back short of the first down. How big was that neck?
I don't know, but it was big, I'll tell you that. I know this, he doesn't go in a normal men's store and buy a shirt.
Mel Agee.
Made by Mel Agee, 96.
It's going to be about 3rd down and 8.
This is what they like to do in regard to defensing this style of offense, but Colorado has made a real effort under DiNardo to spread this offense out and be able to do a better job.
Agee, whom you see there, has a chance to play a little basketball this year at Illinois. That's right, he was a good high school basketball player. He goes up for a rebound, folks. You get out of the way. 3rd and 8, big play. The enemy fumbles it. Field goal situation for Colorado.
I think he tripped. I think they tripped. They were running a guard tackle trap from the backside. Take a look. You'll see the big offensive lineman, Vanderpool, number 72. He's pulling along with Heasley, 79, and he gets back there, and he's slipping coming out of his stance. I think he just got his cleats tied up in the AstroTurf.
That's exactly what happened. He didn't put the ball down at all.
This is what, a 30, 45-yard field goal?
So here's Harper. Block. Illinois ball.
Taking a look at the block now coming. Right side of your screen, Mel Agee, number 96, has got the good feet, good hands. Hammer 25 extends, but it's blocked inside. Actually, it's a low kick. It's a low kick. It isn't a block, but Agee feels that he's got it. Remember, the defensive team can pick that up and advance that ball. Here's another look. Gets it off. It is a low kick, therefore blocked inside.
First and 10 for the Illini, ball on the 36.
First and 10 for Illinois. Ball on their own 36. They trail Colorado 17-10. Verduzco running Griffith.
He's got a road.
He's free. 35. And inside the 20-yard line.
They spread them out. Slot split formation. Run a draw play. Good pass protecting. Good block there by Walters. Gets a kick out there. He gets a block. Now he gets a great block by Sean Wax to the left corner of your screen. You couldn't see. But that gives Griffin the room to go ahead and advance and get the long run.
A 45-yard run. Ball is inside the Colorado 20-yard line. Howard Griffith enjoying a splendid afternoon here against the Buffalo defense. Off a fake, Verduzco rolling, complete. And inside the 10-yard line to Jeff Finke, his tall tight end.
The tight end to the right side of your screen, Jeff Finke. He's going to play action fake. He's going to sneak out here to the right. The pressure's coming. There he is. Two covers covering the deep people. He's open out there in the flat.
Finke is 6'5". Goes into the formation. It looks like he's a little bit late, so he has to be told by Verduzco. And now Finke's just not too sure what to do.
They're screwed up.
Finke's got to find the right side of the formation to get down, which he does. They run right straight ahead with Boyer inside the 5-yard line, and Alfred Williams tackles him there. It'll be second and goal for Illinois.
That's the old-fashioned isolation play, and the best thing Boyer does is run straight ahead. He is a good, tough running back. He missed some time last year, most of '89 season with a knee injury. Coach Makovic looking at his game card. He is his own quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, and then he delegates it to Gene Dahlquist to put it into action.
Second and goal. Luster didn't get it. It's third and goal for Illinois.
I don't like those kind of plays down inside there. They take too long to get there. Gosh darn it. Of course, I'm not designing the offense, am I?
And it's tough to run anything against Big McGee sometimes. Canavis McGee.
Chad Brown's liable to turn loose one of his pet snakes down there. That's his hobby, is raising snakes. Here comes Lester out of the ball game. Wagner, Lester.
Third and goal from the Colorado 4.
Crossing pattern. There it is.
Verduzco throws. Wax has a touchdown, Illinois. Great reception.
Here's Wax there to release the line of scrimmage. He breaks to the corner with a delay pattern underneath him, pulls the coverage out. He's a 6'5" guy. He reaches. Nice, soft hands. Here's Coach Makovic. Come on, man, get excited. He says, oh, boy. What composure.
We are tied at 17. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. Champaign, Illinois. The Illini, trailing by 2 touchdowns late in the first half, have now put 2 scores on the board, and we're deadlocked.
Here we are again. He's going to lay it up to the corner. He's going to throw it at the back pylon. There it is in that 6'5" frame. Look at that right hand reach up, good concentration. And that's tough for a safety. He's normally not tied into a one-on-one situation. Timmy James playing him tight man-to-man.
What a great block was thrown by Camino Bell, 5'11", 218 pounds. The best blocking running back of Illinois. He caught the rush man coming in, got leverage on him, and raised him up in the air, and no one could get to the quarterback. What a sensational block that was to set up that pass.
Here's what you're talking about, Brent. Here it is. Camino Bell, number 34, middle of the screen. He moves off. Here comes the block. He gets right up underneath him. He catches him right at the knees, knocks him flat, and there goes the throwing lane to the left.
And that was Alfred Williams he was working on, who was coming after Verduzco.
Many times it's a mistake to try to cut a guy that low. They'll jump over him.
And it's fielded by Pritchard. Great speed to the 30-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 now for Colorado, and we're deadlocked at 17 as Fred Cox brings him down.
They're used to winning.
Let's check in quickly with Mark. Mark?
Guys, down on the sidelines, Derek Brownlow pointed to the offensive line, told them, good job, guys. Now it's our turn to go do some work.
Hagan and the Buffaloes. We're tied at 17.
Unbalanced line.
Hagan will throw on 1st down. He goes for it all. Pritchard's open, but he overthrew him. Incomplete.
Henry Jones running him with now. Now, Henry Jones is their best man-to-man coverage guy, but you couldn't even jump that high to catch that one. That was really overthrown. But it's still a good idea to air it out like there and stretch that secondary.
Boy, it's been a tough start to this season for Colorado, hasn't it? That tie with Tennessee, then it was Stanford. They had to come back in the second half. 2nd and 10 with the offense huddling on the Illinois sideline. Hagan runs the option. The enemy's outside of him. Hagan keeps it to the 34-yard line, and Henry Jones, number 18, who's playing a whale of a game, brings him down.
The option, it's so tough to stop, and you have to be very disciplined. You know, the very first option ever run in college football was run in 1941 against Ohio State. It was designed by Don Thoreau at University of Missouri, and he got the idea by watching basketball practice one day in a fast break. 2-on-1 situation. He said, you know, that 2-on-1 might work in football, and it's been run ever since.
And that's what Hagan likes to get, a 2-on-1 advantage if he can. 3rd and long with Pritchard in motion behind him. And Hagan to put it up now. Straight back. Going
got a
deep.
shot.
Pritchard incomplete.
Do you have the feeling that Illinois has sort of gotten Colorado shook just a little bit out of their style? You know, there's no reason to be going deep 2 big downs in a row and all that kind of stuff when you run the ball as well as you do, and it's only, you know, a minute 26 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Ruin to punt, and Jones is back deep. It'll be Illinois ball again. Ooh.
Great punt.
This one.
That's an
What
NFL
a magnificent punt. Inside the 10, it hit toward the end zone, down on the 1-foot line.
Unbelievable.
What a great punt that was by Tommy Ruin.
The thing you can't do is you can't fault the punt return man, Henry Jones, because your normal rule is don't field a punt inside the 10-yard line. That ball hit inside the 10-yard and goes down. Give the credit to Ruin, the punter. No wonder he was #1 in the country last year.
Here's a young man who was struggling in the early going with that strained groin muscle, and now he gets off a 65-yarder. This could be trouble for the offense. Dick, what must Mackovic stress now to the offense coming out from the 1-foot line?
Well, first off, he's got to figure we have a whole quarter and a minute 15 seconds to play. Let's not do anything foolish down there. First off, secure the football. Don't turn it over. Move it out far enough that we can get room to punt the football. That's your first goal.
Lester. He didn't punch it out far. Gets thrown back by that defense. Chad Brown, 34, has been all over the field.
And knowing Mackovic like I do, he would not be afraid in this situation to come with a similar action and throw something deep. I mean, he would do it.
Well, Wax is coming into the game right now, and the tight end is coming out. And remember, a short time ago, Verduzco saw Wax one-on-one with the corner, and he threw that slant. Wax is off to his right side. He's spread him out to his left. He spreads the defense out.
They're coming with the outside back. Oh!
Griffith gets to the goal line. Safety is signaled. A Colorado safety as Beekert gets in, and the crowd does not like it.
Taking a look now to the left side of your screen. Here it is. See, Griffin's right there. He's hit in the end zone. Contact made, but he lands outside the end zone. I'm not sure from that angle. Taking another look.
It was close. Let's take a look now
There it is.
from other angles.
Focus, left corner of your screen. Turnout block, linebacker in there, stuffing, hits him. Oh, I don't know. I don't think that was a safety. I don't think that was a safety.
It was close, and that young man did a great job. Regardless of what we think, it counts.
Yes, you bet. You bet.
It's 1917,
Great
Colorado, and they're going to get the ball back after the safety. Illinois will punt it away for the 20-yard line with Forey Wells, the freshman, out there. So a key moment in the game. And if you're going to do that, Nick, he tried to surprise him with the formation, but there wasn't a lot of support there for Griffith.
Right. What that formation does is it balances up the defensive front. You get the same number of defenders on each side of the ball. It balances it up, and then you just take a physical shot at it. But nobody came off on Beekert, rather.
Now McCluen, one of the deep men. Wells is ready. Pritchard is also back there. Colorado's going to get, they figured to get decent field position out of this.
They can fair catch this now. Remember, it has to be fair catch.
At the 48-yard line, and Matt Bell giving Colorado a 1st and 10 right there. We're in the closing seconds of the 3rd quarter, and in the 4th quarter, keep in mind that Illinois will have this brisk breeze at its back. So with Mark Jones and Dick Vermeil, I'm Brent Musburger. We're in Champaign, Illinois. This is the Big Ten, the Fighting Illini against the Colorado Buffaloes of the Big 8. Colorado with a win and a tie to its record. They were ahead 17-3. Illinois tied it. Now Colorado goes back ahead as the result of a safety in a splendid college football game down here in Champaign. Hagan barking out the change at the line. The enemy into the arms of the defense. Gain of about 3 yards. And the final seconds ticking away here in the 3rd quarter. He's found himself in another dogfight. It's been that kind of year for Coach McCartney. We're going to return with more college football between Colorado and Illinois after this message and a word from our ABC station. College football on a glorious Saturday afternoon. You can't beat it. And for the first time in 12 years, the Buffaloes of Colorado put a safety on the scoreboard. And it could not have come at a more opportune time as they take a lead on the Fighting Illini 19-17. Now we start the final 15 minutes. Colorado with the ball at midfield. 2nd down and 7. Here is Bieniemy. Cutting back, has a seam, and he is to the 33-yard line.
They did a real good job of walling off the defense and not letting the inside-out pursuit get to make that play. There was a hell of a lane blocked in there. Coming at you low. How'd you like to stop this one? Ball tossed deep, pulling the lineman, stepping around, good block, good kick-out block right there. Look at the big block right there by Garden. Geez, this guy has that quickness, and he has the vision. He knows where he's going all the time.
16 more yards for Bieniemy behind that blocking, and on the day 110 yards and 18 carries.
Well, they've won 10 out of the, they won 10 and lost 2 when he's rushed for 100 yards.
Hagan,
they're outnumbered.
Coming to the boundary side and is finally knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That was Jerry Hamner taking him out. Dick?
3rd quarter stats. Here we go. Colorado's 19-17. You can see that. First down, 7-15. 291 yards. Illinois, that's a little surprising. 170 yards. Illinois appears by statistics ought to be ahead.
But instead they're down by 2, and now
Colorado's gaining momentum.
Key drive for the Buffaloes. The enemy. Very close to a first down. Romero Bryce, number 58, is in the middle of that pile.
Boy, when they run that isolation play, blocking the line of scrimmage with those offensive linemen, and lead that back through there, lead Hemingway through there, there's a lot of meat trying to make a couple yards.
Dick, you would think that Coach McCartney, one of his concerns with the wind in his face is to keep this clock moving, keep a ball control drive if he can now, and when he gets it back.
Eat up the clock, and you know, you're right, the wind's blowing pretty strong. I don't know, at that range, I don't think his field goal kicker would have to worry.
This is a 1st and 10. They'll use the enemy again. He crosses the 20-yard line.
See, they're going to get up in behind Jay Lewinberg, the big All-American candidate center, number 52, and Joe Garton, the left guard, 62, and Russ Heasley, the right guard. They're going to go up there and take you on physically right now. See, 5-6 yards on first down. That's a real good job. The option offense down here is really tough, boy. One mistake in the discipline down here in the man-to-man assignments in the option, you're beaten.
Less of a balance to this eye-bone attack. Now they line up in the straight eye. The field is to Hagan's right. He has more room if he heads in that direction. They'll come to the boundary instead with the enemy, and again he turns it up and steps out at the 11. Dick, I would think that the coaches have noticed something. They have brought the enemy into the boundary on this drive, now away from the wide side.
Well, they start setting the formation to the field, and then they drop the tight end on that wide side of the field off and bring him in motion and overload the short side of the field. And the key to that, though, really was Hemingway's kick-out block on Jerry Hamner, who's over there in the rolled-up corner position.
How nice it is to have a running back like Hemingway, who was a tight end.
And he can block you.
Legitimate big-time blocker. 1st and 10. Break to Hemingway. It's Hagan going to the wide side, turns it up, down at the 7-yard line, Jones.
John Wachter did an awfully nice job. See, he wanted to turn up, Hagan that is, wanted to turn upside, and Wachter comes inside out, no lane for him. Nice job by Wachter. He's the guy that was academically ineligible last year, didn't play.
2nd and 6.
Now it is 2nd down for the Buffaloes. 47 yards and 10 rushes by Hagan. They can get a first down without scoring. Hagan rolling to the short side, pitches it out of bounds. Late to the enemy. Colorado's ball, but a loss on the play.
You know, those pitch outs always scare you like that, but for the option team that they are, they were number 2 in the country in the fewest number of giveaways last year. Now that shows me not only the soundness of the offense, but it shows the soundness of the coaching staff. The offensive staff doing a tremendous job of organizing practice and drilling the mechanics of their option offense.
Third down, the ball at the Illinois 9-yard line. They must get inside the 1 for a first down.
See, the option really puts pressure on you now.
Hagan to throw it. Under pressure, incomplete.
He got it lunched. Wachter, number 99, really gave it to him.
Colorado will settle for a field goal opportunity in this situation. They only lead it by 2. They do not want to stay in a scoring situation where a field goal could beat them with the wind at Illinois' back. They will be very satisfied to take a 5-point lead right now and take their chances at 12:49. But that pitch out of bounds put a lot of pressure on the third down play, and Colorado was unable to pass successfully when they had to. And the 26-yarder is good. Jimmy Harper nails down another field goal. It'll be 22-17 when you come back. 12:44 to go. Ball is on the tee. Colorado with a 5-point lead over Illinois, and a fierce one unfolding here in Champaign.
Kicking into the wind here. Should be able to get a return.
And they will. Fagan at the 10, 15, 20. Looking for daylight to the 26-yard line. Nick, let's take everybody back. I know we've had some folks join us here a little bit late in the afternoon as some of the other games end and some of the blowouts proceed. Illinois scored first on a Higgins field goal of 29 yards. And then it was the Buffaloes' turn. Fullback Hemingway barging in. It was 7-3. It went to 10-3 on Harper's first field goal of the afternoon. And then the Buffaloes appeared to be pulling away in the game. But back came Illinois on Elbert Turner's catch on the pass by Verduzco. And it was Sean Wax making it 17-all before the safety made it 19-17. And then it was Harper's field goal. And that's where we stand now at 22-17. And on first down, not much there as Gary Howe, number 95, your favorite defensive lineman.
I tell you, I love those guys that are underrated. I love those kind of players. I enjoy coaching them. They're the guys that aren't supposed to make the plays, and they make them anyway. They don't get a lot of credit. He transferred from Drake University when they dropped football, and I'll guarantee you the defensive coaches there, Brian Cabral, Bob Simmons, Ron Vander Linden, and Dave Sidwell, they're excited about him coming there.
And so Howe leaving the field at 12 minutes to go. Second down and long for Verduzco. Complete to Lester coming out of the backfield. Out to the 45-yard line. Wagner, Lester, and it took the safeties to bring him down.
What it was a halfback option play. Option meaning he ran off the linebacker. Beekert, number 19. You'll see to the right side of your screen. Beekert's picking him up short. He options. He breaks underneath Beekert right there. Beekert falls down, and now here he is going ahead and uses running backs. Tuck that ball under your arm, young man. All right. Got it there in time. Boy, that drives me crazy to see the guy sticking the ball out like that. Don't smile.
Calm down now. You're not coaching now. 21 starts. I want to burn you out one afternoon. Easy, big fella. First and 10 now. The ball's out to the 45-yard line.
Can't believe he did that.
Verduzco on the fake. Sends it back on the screen to Griffith. Griffith breaks a tackle and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. I want to tell you, Gary Howe did a great job on that play.
Attaway, Gary. He read that from the start. He knew it was a screen by reading the blocks of the offensive lineman in front of him.
Second down and 10.
Second and 10, ball on the 45. 11:20 left in the game.
You're looking at big Frank Hartley, number 82, one of the finer blocking tight ends in the Big Ten, maybe in the country. No back attack. Usually they roll out with this. Sure, nobody to give it to.
94, big Alfred Williams would not let him out of his grasp. Great defensive play that time.
See, Camino Bell was no match for Alfred Williams that time. You have Camino Bell at 5'11", 206, trying to block the 6'6" giant there. Couldn't do it. There he is, right corner of your screen. Alfred Williams, number 94. See Camino Bell get up underneath him. He grabbed. You've got to get your center of gravity a little lower. You better try to cut him right now. Oh, too late. Look at that big long arms. He puts him down. It's a fine basketball player. 24 points a game. He can rebound him, can he?
Great power rush that time by Williams with fresh respect for Bell. Third down and 15.
They've been good in that situation so far today.
This time, Verduzco stepping away from the pressure. He'll keep it on the run, and he'll be short of the first down. He's at the 49, and he needed to get across midfield to the 45. Beekert, number 19,
he got hit pretty good. He's sucking wind right now. He's a tough guy.
Illinois to punt.
He's checking his lips, see if he still has a set of teeth. I'm really impressed with him. He's really maturing today. It'll help him as they move into the conference play. Because as you said earlier, they put an awful emphasis on those Big Ten games.
McLuhan waits Wells' punt.
Nice punt. Nice
It's on the 11. McLuhan picks it up on a bounce, and he's out of bounds there at the 10-yard line. So he stops the clock there at 9:28. He didn't give a chance to down that punt down inside the 5-yard line. McLuhan just zipped it out of bounds. We're coming right back. Dick, how important is this defensive series for Mighty Mo Gardner and the Illini?
I kind of believe Lou Tepper, the defensive coordinator, and the defensive coaches, Bernstein, Gamble, and Marson, have told those kids this is the most important defensive series of the game to date right now, because if they can slow them down back here, they'll get the ball back at the 50-yard line. That's a short field to play on.
Bieniemy, and he's hit right away by Gardner. Barely got the handoff. Mo almost beat him to the ball that time.
There's Mo Gardner, tilt positions. He slants. He's slanting with the pull. He's into the backfield, but he's limping right now down here. Take another look. He's got that great quickness. Read the play, moved off. I think there was a mistake in the blocking of the offensive center. And Leuenberg doesn't make many mistakes. Maybe he was supposed to be getting help from Russ Heasley, the offensive right guard.
Timeout by Hagan. Colorado uses the timeout.
Illinois.
Well, it's 22-17, and a look at the Illini assistant coaches there, calling the defensive plays from up high. Second down and long for Hagan and the Buffaloes. Hagan gonna put it up. A wobbler, incomplete, and that'll bring up third and long. Let's go downstairs to Mark.
Brent, just a few moments ago, the offensive line coach got the offensive line together as a group and stressed, we must, I repeat, must control Mo Gardner if we're going to win this ball game. The task is set.
You know, the thing on that very play, though, Mark, Mo Gardner spun off the block, and he spun in the opposite direction. He would have liked to have been going in that time. He went the wrong way. Take a look, Mo, number 95, he's taking on the center. See him spin off the power. Quarterback's coming out the other way. Hey, Mo, missed that time.
And then it was Walker who deflected the pass. This is 3rd and 13. No play bigger in the game. Hagan with the option, and Colorado is forced to punt. Streeter makes the play.
Sean Streeter making the big key defensive play, which we already stated was the key series.
Now the man who's had a huge play in this game, Tom Ruin, must punt out.
Into the wind. Good stiff wind blowing right now.
Jones is back, and he booms one inside the 40-yard line. Down at the 42. What a magnificent job of punting by Tom Ruin today.
Brent, that ball was 65 yards in the air, and it hung up there into the wind. Got to give that guy a little specimen test after the game here.
How did Earl Bruce ever let him get away from the 40?
I don't know.
Whoa-wee.
He's punting into a very stiff wind. He's under pressure, punting out of his own end zone. People coming down his throat. And he hung that thing up. I bet you stayed in the air over 5 seconds. Great job of punting. I tell you, so far, I think he's the MVP.
Now, Illinois with the wind at their back, trailing it by 5, 22-17. 7:54 to go here in the ball game. Griffin and Fagan are the setbacks. Split behind for Dusko. On first down, they elect to throw it again. Receivers covered, and he is buried back near the 30-yard line. Now the Honda Scholar Athlete of the Week is brought to you by American Honda, who is proud to support amateur athletics. This week's award goes to Greg Fry, the senior quarterback from Ohio State. He threw for a touchdown this afternoon in leading Ohio State to its second straight victory. Against Texas Tech, he was 11 of 23 for 149. Honda presents a check for $2,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of Ohio State University. And now for the Fighting Illini, they come up 2nd and 16. Howe play with Fagan, nothing going. And Jerry Howe, number 95.
I hope they give him a double scholarship dinner next week. Huh? Look at that guy. What a nice play made by Gary Howe out of Spencer, Iowa. Drake High School. He came into this ball game with 2 quarterback pressures. He's had more of that today.
The Buffaloes yielding not a thing defensively right now. 6:30 to go. Tom Ruins, magnificent punt. Set up this defensive effort. Now it is 3rd down and 18.
With the defense playing so well, they've got to make sure they don't turn the ball over. Don't take any chances. Go ahead and punt, play defense again. There's a mistake.
Steps up and hits his own man, and then Joel Steed brought him to the carpet, and Illinois must punt.
Nobody blocked him. They made a mental mistake. Either the offensive right guard, Cam Pepper, 73, or Tony Laster. Taking a look to the left center of your screen, you'll see the tackle turns out, the guard turns the other way. Cam Pepper must have made a mistake there, number 73. Sorry, Cam, but I think you was wrong.
Oh, the defense this half on both sides. Neither team has made a 3rd down this half. Wells booming one. McLuhan catches it at the 23. He took a couple of steps backward, and now he is down at the 28-yard line. 5:32 on the clock.
Boy, this game is intense in the pits. You'll see the mistake made here by the left corner of your screen. The defense shifts over, and for some reason, the offensive right guard, Cam Pepper, doesn't turn out, and the right tackle does turn out. See, they turn the other way. Mental mistake, turn the guy loose.
Now 5.5 minutes. A great ball control attack.
He's a fine football player, too.
Taken, eyeing the defense. Quarterback keeping it, and he is down after gaining about a yard as Brownlow leads the assault. Let's take a look at the passing stats of Darian Hagan. This was one of the goals of Colorado this year, was to be more successful with the passing game. And in the first half, he threw for that touchdown, which was huge, but they have stopped him here in the second half.
Maybe they have to go to the first down play-action passing rather than getting into the more obvious passing situation.
Well, this would be an obvious one if they want to throw it inside of 5 minutes. They'll keep it on the ground with the enemy. Short of the first down. That'll bring up about a 3rd and 4 as Bill Hinkle brings him down.
You know, Brent, I like that call because now they can, now you talk about 0 for 4 passing. Now they're trying, if they're going to throw, they're throwing some kind of a delayed or out of the backfield or check down or short slant type pattern that only is seeking the 5 to 6 yard gain. I think they're coming after him. Get back. He gave him the first down.
The pass is high. No penalty marker thrown.
He was offsides.
Great defensive play by Jerry Hamner. No flag was thrown, however. Maybe he didn't make contact. Maybe he's
well, I thought he was in the neutral zone. It looked like he was in the neutral zone when the ball was snapped. Maybe not from up here. We're a little ways away. Take a look at Streeter up on top. Hey, he's in the neutral zone. That's offside. The flag should be thrown. The official on that side's out to lunch. He was definitely in the neutral zone.
What do you really mean?
They made a mistake. You know, these kids are battling their fannies off. They'll try to play football as their coach to do. All the official has to do is call what he sees.
That one was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah, very obvious. You got to be blind up.
Now, Ruin again.
Beautiful high hanger.
Jones at the 30. Gets by one tackler. Battles his way to the 37. Now there's inside of 4 minutes to go. And tonight, the Young Riders saddle up on a Saturday night for the first time. A special 2-hour movie with guest star David Soul. The Young Riders moves to Saturday tonight at 8/7 Central.
That looks like Jimmy Tubbs.
We've got Young Riders saddling up out here right now. 3:59, 22 to 17.
Unbalanced formation.
Good block. Complete to the tight end. Jeff Finke. And he is tackled by James Dick.
They ran this play going in about the 15-yard line in the third quarter. 2 tight ends, they overload the formation to the wide side of the field, run play action to freeze the linebackers, then sneak the tight end out in the flat.
Second down and short. Griffith gets the first down. McGee, 96, was all over him.
Yeah, they're so stout. I think it was Leonard Renfro, 99, doing a good job in there. They're very stout when you take them on physical.
They're short of it, Dick. Less than a yard coming up on third down.
You can see what I'm talking about, how start they are. They hits right there. There's nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. And then here comes Big McGee, and he's mad.
What would you do here?
I'd run it. I'd run it.
They do. It's Griffith. He's got the first down, crosses midfield, and he's out of bounds at the 45.
You know what he did great? Really nice call is they went on a quick count, up stance. They were waiting for him to shift down, caught the defense off balance. You don't have to whip him physically that time. You catch him off balance. Very good call. Now what? Offensive linemen. See, they're all standing up. They're waiting for him to shift down. There he goes. 2 men tripped over each other. He gets knocked out of bounds there by Greg Thomas, 27.
3:11 on the clock. 22-17 for Mackovic. Dick, it is 1st and 10. You bet.
I come play action pass.
They'll toss to Griffith again, and that time he can't get away from Beaker.
The reason he couldn't get away, there's penetration there at the point of attack, and Cam Pepper, 73, tried to pull and do what we call a step around block, and he just couldn't get there on the linebacker.
They'll get on the play. 2nd and 10.
Magnificent effort by Colorado and Illinois here this afternoon in Champaign.
Well, one thing this does prove is the quality of both of these defensive football teams.
Both these coaches heavily influenced by Bo Schembechler. Mackovic was with him at Miami of Ohio. McCartney was with him, of course, at Ann Arbor. Now on 2nd and 10. Time. And he hits the tight end, Finke. That'll be a first down for the Illini.
That 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver formation is really giving them problems. See, that's Finke. Finke to the left side of your screen. You'll see him a valedictorian of his high school class, a brilliant young man, fine student. He blocks first and then releases outside and swings up outside the sideline, gets in that hole. Beautiful job.
Illinois kept all 3 of its timeouts on this drive. Colorado is down to 2.
Same formation, 2 tight ends, 2 wide outs.
And they'll throw out of it. Verduzco, and it's deflected to Griffith, who catches it on a ricochet. And he's out of bounds at the 25. Alfred Williams knocked it back, but Griffith was right there.
Woo! Can you believe that? He's rolling out, he throws, Williams gets up, hands up, does everything he's supposed to do. Bats it right back, playing volleyball, back to Griffin, and he advances the ball for an 8-yard gain. Can you believe it? When it's going your way, it's going your way.
Now remember, Illinois is down by 5 points. They must score a touchdown. They can't settle for a field goal. Verduzco trying to be heard.
Audible.
2nd and short. Griffith, and there was flags thrown as the 25-second clock apparently ran out on Illinois, and that's a mistake they cannot afford in that situation.
Illegal procedure. 73, Cam Pepper. I did see him move. I didn't know they called it on him. He did shake a little bit there. Cam Pepper, 6'5", 270, a true NFL prospect at that offensive guard position. Look at this, 21 of 27, 201 yards. Excellent day.
Dick, what did Jeff George do against Colorado a year ago?
Well, he was 12 for 24, 2 interceptions. Maybe this kid's going to get $15 million, huh?
this afternoon. 2nd and 7 after the 5-yard penalty.
They're coming after him.
Verduzco hits his receiver for a first down at the 20-yard line. Jason Verduzco to Stephen Mueller.
This was really well done. Colorado made the commitment to come after him, play a man-to-man. They red dogged and they put the pressure from the outside. You'll see up on top, you'll see McGee and Williams coming off the points. See, they're coming after him. Here comes number 6, Eric Hamilton, the safety. He gets rid of the ball right where he has to throw it on the outside, and McClune comes out. Verduzco, he's zeroed in. He may be short, but he knows where he's putting that football.
2 minutes remaining in our football game. 1st and 10. Verduzco back. Has time and hits Lester coming out of the backfield inside the 10.
Real good poise. This young man is gaining confidence. There's not a lot of room to throw the ball inside the 20. He throws a check down type pattern. You see Beaker 19 dropping out. They're playing zone this time. He checks it down to the back, coming out of the backfield. Beaker trips him up, misses the tackle. Good call. They got him in the good coverage, too. If that had been man-to-man coverage, that's a no-gainer.
They're going to bring the chains out. Mark the ball, so we've got a measurement down here. Dick, we've got 1:50 on the clock. It's 22-17. Colorado over Illinois. Illinois with all 3 timeouts.
Well, but they have all the time they need to run the offensive plays to score. The big thing is the proper selection, and don't make the mistake. The thing is, down here, you don't have much area to defend, so from a defensive standpoint, you can cover them tight.
Now, remember earlier when we saw Makovic calm on the sideline? That's very important right now.
He always has great composure, and as you and I both saw 2 days in a row, work on their passing attack inside the 20. What they like to do down in here is get in a wide slot and run the slot man to the corner and the delay man the outside, or crossing patterns to wax.
And they get a break. Instead of a 1st and goal, it is now 2nd down and inches. In effect, they get an extra down right here. Verduzco trying to quiet this crowd here in Champaign. He wants to be heard.
There's that strong formation set left. He could become the spring out. Yeah, he is.
Lester bobbles, gets the handle, gets the corner.
He was blocked initially at the point of attack. Good blocking, good call. They had him stretched out there.
Dick, that was Griffith, 29, out in front of him, who helped him with the secondary. Now, there's too much time on the clock as far as Illinois' defensive coaches are concerned.
I'd go ahead and run the ball.
It's 1.5 minutes to go. It's 1st and goal down here.
They like to put the wingback in motion in the goal line.
That's Bell, who is set in front of the tailback right now. Griffith, and it'll be Griffith diving across for the touchdown, Illinois. Will play the scoreboard and apparently will go for the 2.
What they like in this situation is a crossing pattern, and they like to emphasize throwing the ball high to wax.
They do not want to lose to a field goal. They'll take their chances with the 2 points.
Let's see where they put Wax. He split way wide here down to the right-hand side of the screen. They're loading up.
Turner's inside him, Dick.
This is the pick type thing.
Throw to Turner, incomplete, so it'll stay at 23-22. Colorado with a minute 18. A field goal would win it for the Buffaloes. George, what's his feeling right now?
Jeff, Jason Verduzco filling your shoes not too badly right now.
Well, you got to give him credit. He hung in there. They're giving him pressure the whole game, and he did a great job. You know, Jason's always got the talent. He showed a lot of confidence in himself today.
Jeff George casting a long shadow, but Brent, hey, Jason Verduzco ain't bad either.
What an afternoon Jason has had here today. And, of course, at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. For the 20th year through that Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund.
But even more important than today, what it does for the program the rest of the year, his performance. Jeff George going, people think, hey, we don't have a chance to be champions. They do have a chance. This young man can do it for them.
They'll kick it away from Bieniemy on the ground. Now, that's a questionable call, Dick, with a field goal kicker who is as strong
Hi, Dad, I love you, Laney.
As the Buffaloes' Jimmy Harper. What's your feeling about that?
I think with the wind in my back, I'd have taken my chances and kicked it off because, see, right, as you said, the field goal kicker would be kicking into the wind, but you've got the ball on the 39-yard line. I don't think he meant to kick it that short.
Dick, you gave him 20 yards of field position as a result.
I think they wanted the ball to get down into that 20-yard line area.
All right, here's the moment now. Darian Hagan and the Buffaloes are up. They trail it by a point, 23-22. Bieniemy is behind him. Hagan to put it up on first down. He's got time, and down he goes as his receivers are covered, and Streeter tackles him.
You'll hold
and
it.
a flag is down.
I got 79 on a hole. What do you got?
You hear that? We got a hold. We got a man. We got a couple going working.
Got a hold and a face mask. That's the first time I heard the official today.
Against Illinois, but they'll offset. All right, now the clock, 1:08. Remember that the Buffaloes have already used one of their timeouts. They're down to 2. Now, as far as Harper is concerned, they told us last night that he kicked those 57-yarders in practice, but he's working against the wind, Dick. Where do you think they have to get here to give him a chance to win it?
Well, the one that he made from 54 here would have been good from 58 or 59. I think into this wind, he could hit a 48-yarder.
So they should get that ball down inside the 40-yard line. Any chance at all. Here is first. Clock ticking down inside of a minute. Hagan's under pressure, and he gets it into the hands of Bieniemy. Bieniemy picks up a block, and he is out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 45. I'll tell you, Hagan ambidextrous. He looked like he got that one off left-handed.
He is one of the most fierce competitors that Coach McCartney said he's ever coached. This guy can really do it.
Watch the hand here, Dick. Now, he's a right-handed shortstop, but he is a natural left-hander. He's covered up, and he goes to the left hand. You bet.
Yeah, and he can throw left-handed, as we saw in practice in pregame warm-up.
That's his first completion of this half.
Maybe he'll throw left-handed this next shot. Hagan has scored 9 for 9 attempts in 2 minutes offense last year. He can do it.
All right, well, where's the other set?
There's a chain problem. That's why we have a stoppage here. There's a chain problem, so they're getting it reset over there. Now it is Illinois 23, Colorado 22. 56 seconds left on the clock. The Buffaloes with the ball on their own 45-yard line. 2nd and 3.
Here's the
Jimmy
problem.
Harper will be the man if they can get it down close enough to attempt a field goal.
He didn't expect that coming out of junior college right off that. The problem is, do you play man-to-man or zone? That's the problem defensively right now. Do you play a slight prevent? You can't afford to give them too many gains.
Well, they're bringing in a new set of chains. into the game on the far side, and that's what the delay is right now. So they're getting it set up and getting everything marked as it was.
If they got the ball to the 26-yard line,
over the middle and complete for the first down. And that was Bowman, the big tight end, who got it across midfield. Clock is stopped with 49 seconds. They still have kept their 2 timeouts, and now they are within easy distance. And you just go back to that kickoff after Illinois took the lead. Why they didn't make an effort to bury him deep in their end zone.
They still have to move that ball about 25 yards. They can do it. They've done it before.
First and 10 for Hagan and the Buffaloes. Plenty of time. Over the middle, he's open. Incomplete. And there's a penalty marker down.
George Hemingway couldn't come up with that one. He's the tight end fullback combination. Well thrown football. What do they have, holding? Holding.
So that will prove costly for Colorado.
Here's that wind we're talking about. It's a good stiff breeze. That is a big flag.
Previous golf ball, repeat first down.
Take him back. Colorado's got to get the ball in the hands of the enemy some way.
Well, the enemy, I'll tell you, there's somebody else out there. It's Mike Pritchard.
Yes,
if they can find Pritchard, Dick. Hagan is back. Now he turns around, and he is hit and brought down. Beautiful tackle by Eric Foggy. We'll take a timeout and come right back. Mark Jones and Dick Vermeil. I'm Brent Musburger. Our situation is this. 30 seconds to go in the game. It's 23-22. Illinois upsetting Colorado. Even though they were at home, the Illini were underdogs here this afternoon.
I still believe they've got to get the ball to the 30-yard line. That's a 47-yard field goal.
Hagan, under pressure, steps away and won't get it off. And they will have to use a timeout as Eric Foggy again led the assault. And John McCartney gets it called.
They sucked it up, put in some fresh pass rushers, and Eric Foggy, and it's paid off.
So while they huddle up and decide what to do, we'll take a break and come right back. We are back with 17 seconds. Colorado has used its last timeout. It comes down to 3rd and 28. Hagan straight back. Throws over the middle. Intercepted by Illinois, and that'll do it. As Quentin Parker, no, it is ruled down with 12 seconds.
Was it intercepted?
I thought he caught it in the air, but apparently he did not.
There's the offensive line coach, Coach Mike Deal, standing next to Coach McAfee. There's Coach McCartney. Boy, I'll tell you what a gut wrencher this has been for him. Teams are going to play against Colorado better than they actually are. Here's a look. He's under pressure. He does a good job of stepping up inside the pocket. They're forcing the rush around the outside. He throws a line drive shot right down the hole. I don't think it hit the ground. It went off that guy's stomach.
It was close. It has come down to this for Colorado to stay unbeaten. Hagan scrambling all over. Hagan still on his feet. Penalty marker is thrown.
Yeah, there was a clipping back there.
That'll do it. Illinois has upset Colorado.
win for your team. You almost put yourself in trouble with that short kickoff near the end.
We did so many crazy things in this game. I told our team it was going to be like that. I did not think it would be an uninteresting game. It lived up to that, but my heart's been beating hard the whole day. It was a gutty game. I think both teams played well. I'm really proud of ours.
Jason Verduzco grew leaps and bounds, it seems, this afternoon. Throughout the game, you could almost see it.
Well, he had to. We were in the hole so many times, and I told him that he just had to make the plays. I said, you make the plays, we can win games like this. He did it.
Does this take the heat off you a little bit, John?
Well, I think our team knows we're a good team. I was a little bit concerned. We didn't play well last week, but a game like this makes a difference.
Thanks for joining us, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Brent, back to you guys.
Spectacular. And our players of the game. From Colorado, Gary Howe, who did such a great job for Coach McCartney, and the young quarterback we have just mentioned, Jason Verduzco from Illinois. Chevrolet donates $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. I remember a quarterback who was 5'9", by the name of Doug Flutie at Boston College. And here today, Jason Verduzco, with only his second start, has put his name up there with some pretty fair country quarterbacks like Wilson, Eason, Trudeau, and George. All hail Jason Verduzco. He does it. Illinois upsets Colorado 23-22. And I hope you're with us next week when we ride to Ann Arbor. Now, for Mark Jones and Dick Vermeil, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long for our entire ABC crew.
Monday on ABC Sports, the Kansas City Chiefs head to the Mile High City to take on the AFC champion Denver Broncos, live on ABC's Monday Night Football. ABC's College Football has been brought to you by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda at your local dealership today. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. By UPS for guaranteed overnight delivery from coast to coast. UPS runs the tightest ship in the shipping business. And by Allstate for home, auto, life, and business insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.